Hello and welcome to CrestVahllen D&D, the Argent Flame. This will be episode 42, Underdark, Amusement Park. Without further ado, let's get into the recap of the previous episode. After realizing that the odd Triton before them is merely a corpse that has been recycled by a hive mind fungal colony known only as Ankyline, the three adventurers exchange some biomass cigars for some potions. They also convince the unusual being to part with a spore pod, as to which might be used to spread their spores to other collections of biomass throughout their travels. Back at the Firebeard homestead, Trisheni solves an equation that will allow her to transmute physical and mental forms, and Shakar is resummoned. After the party reconvenes, Ermgrim and Argus pontificate over the operational uniqueness and motivations of Kosuth and his Flamekeepers, while Zemdak attempts to train his mimics to change form. Messages are sent to friends and family members before the troop bed down for the night. Within the slumber of Lagh's mind comes forth dreams/nightmares of a hunt gone wrong, and a thirst for blood. A rude awakening of teeth cause Cole to nearly attack Lahg, but cooler heads prevail. The bugbear now blessed temporarily with vampiric abilities. Now, let's get back to the action. Welcome back to CrestVahllen. Hello and welcome back to CrestVahllen D&D, soon to be something else. Hey, the Argent Flame. I'm your not so humble dungeon master TJ, and we're back. So, last we left off, you guys had just woken up from a long rest. Today is the 24th of Lahg, and you are still within Minheim. Whether you are outside or within the Firebeard homestead, you have woken up. You guys go get a long rest. Lahg, your a odd vampiric ability has been bestowed upon you.
I did forget to remind you, did the triple full moon have any effect on his dream?
That was, let me double check my map here, because I don't believe that was actually...
You should be making this last night too.
That was the night before,
Okay.
I think. Let me double check.
I know I had it written down as triple full. The 23rd was a triple
Yes.
full moon.
Hold on. There. Talk amongst yourselves.
Cool. The Heart of the Hopeful is an artifact. It's the one we found down in the same tomb as Tortesi.
I do think I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So every 3 days, it has a chance to refresh.
We used it.
But I
on
got to
that.
roll like
A 20. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we used it on that one guy when we first got it, who had turned younger after drinking the Goodberry wine,
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Restored.
and then we had not gotten it to roll again
For like a month.
until after you were kidnapped.
Yeah.
Literally the day after you were kidnapped.
Yeah.
And so if I roll a 20, then what happens?
Then it recharges.
It recharges.
So-
Anything else, it doesn't.
The greater restoration spell that it took to like cure those two from the head priests,
It'll be-
it'll be able to do that once.
But we weren't sure if it was going to happen, and we would rather have them going into this traveling period being full rather than risk.
Yes.
Yes,
So basically, once I roll this 20, then we'll have a greater restoration.
exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
yep.
It's happened a little bit more since then, but yeah, it took until
It was
we met Sofka to get the first one. And
Yeah.
Sofka got
And
the
the-
second one too.
and then Argus was rolling natural ones, like
Yeah.
4 in a row, and then rolled the nat 20 on the heart.
So who did we use the last one on? Because we just used it.
Yeah. to
yes,
get you
The
from-
first time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we were arguing about whether to use it on your brainworms or
Yeah.
Logh's comatose ass.
So his dreams can occasionally go really bad. And the last time they went bad, the idol essentially like became sentient and got out.
That was also after he'd had his brain. I know Lahg doesn't have a lot of intelligence, but he'd basically been reduced to no intelligence.
Gotcha.
My brain was sucked.
So he was comatose, and then the idol infected me with like permanent insanity.
Yeah.
So
Permanent?
Do we tell him how it got
He didn't take anything seriously.
until it healed, until
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
He-
greater
wanted to
restoration
use-
spell.
He couldn't tell us what he wanted to use it for. However, he wanted to use the heart for something fun.
You wanted to draw like a face on it at one point. I remember that.
I don't know what I was doing. It was just
You wanted to.
stupid.
I mean, you wanted to draw a face on several people.
So like, I couldn't.
I had a lot of
literally
fun with
couldn't
it.
take anything seriously, so I was just trying to be as silly and
He wanted to go drinking with Lahg.
sort of off the cuff as possible.
He actually suggested going drinking with Lahg and I instead of.
But he was comatose, so that
And then he stabbed me with a syringe. Full of...
I mixed together like a bunch of.
Kind of like.
That was the help, though. You know.
That was
Kinda like
before
that,
I went
the
into
last session when Argus got the lava and the diamonds in him. Yeah, only he did. It was what and the rubies that you put into him?
Eternal flame.
That was before I went
Eternal
insane.
flame.
I tried to like create. He was comatose. His intelligence score had been reduced to 1 essentially,
Okay.
so he was too stupid to be conscious essentially.
I mean, it was 0. Like, it was
Yeah.
straight up 0.
Yeah.
So I combined a bunch of different spells together.
When was the Eternal Flame spell?
Cure wounds,
I missed your eye, by the way.
continuous flame, and something else.
Some
and
good
like,
berries.
Well,
Berries,
TJ
like-
Good
did allude
berries.
to that I haven't tried to resummon it yet.
yeah.
He alluded to that last session. But
And I
if that thing can escape out of there...
Please do. Come on.
No, no,
so like
no.
I
you
combined
don't.
3 spells,
Let it out. Just let it out, Lahg.
cast it on them all at once, and it didn't quite work. It did something, but not what I was hoping it would do.
Yeah.
It's like the only draw on my soul right now, Lahg. Come on, just let it out. It'll be okay.
That thing
While you
is-
were gone, we also started somewhat of a prank war
Yeah, that was fun
using-
for a few days.
using spells. A few days.
We've pulled back a little bit. We agreed on some terms finally.
It was more of an underground thing in the tunnels.
Drawing things on people and
I made him look like the sad clown.
face paint. Yeah.
But he'd
guys are
already
doing
been.
the
But he'd
most,
been up a purple worm's butt recently, so he woke up in the morning, was all like, "Clean me." Just disappeared.
Forget what I
Purple
wanted to
worm's butt.
Yeah, that's happened.
So
That's what we call spelunking.
I think we explained this last time, right? We know that their droppings
Yep,
are like the
remember that.
precious metals.
That's what
that
he was
they
talking about earlier. Yeah.
So I thought, hey, maybe there's some partially digested stuff up there. And
And you found a
was.
decent amount.
I
So I'm not,
found some gemstones up
I'm
there.
not giving you shit about that fact. I'm
So,
just giving you
yes.
shit that you went up a.
I was also the smallest
shit.
one and knew what I was looking for. So
Hey,
He also
I-
went up.
whatever it takes, I guess.
He also
Crawled inside
decided
of a
to
worm.
go up the back end instead of going down the throat.
It's probably a lot faster to go down the back end.
I mean, the
Everything.
process stuff is all going to be at the back.
At the back end
Yeah.
anyway, right?
Then you don't have to worry about
That makes
acid. It's like, you know.
We met this weird tiefling monk who tried
Oh,
to
yeah.
drive everybody insane.
There were 2 other players that attempted to join for a little while. They only stayed for a couple sessions,
They
but
had life come up and stuff like that.
yeah, one of them was a monk, one of them was a warforged fighter. And they helped us out quite a bit, but we got separated from them.
She was very interested in the elementals and stuff. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually learned a little bit, which makes me wonder if Kossuth was actually
Primordials,
one of
like
the
his
Yeah.
god.
primordial that was sacrificed.
So there's one for each
and then
element.
that's why the 4
Fire,
flames exist
earth,
now,
wind, and
to
water.
keep his power.
And she was a
Right.
traveling scholar trying to
That's pure
research them.
supposition
essentially, So
on metagame knowledge, but
But I mean, you know, if we were talking about that before, maybe if it's all of the flames coming together, then his power comes back, right? It's
there's
not-
definitely something
yeah.
going on with
Like, why is it divided?
All-
my absolute worry is that
not just
the Kossuth
Kossuth, but,
goal
like,
is
all
to
the different
bring the 4
primordials
flames of
are-
Kossuth
Agreed.
together.
more active.
Hey, doggy.
The other 2 leave. Is Luna the only one?
Oh,
Ivy.
Ivy.
hi, Miss Tiny.
Yes.
She's just Moonchild. Right? For
She is
Okay.
Moonchild.
So, who wants to roll for the heart?
Yeah.
Heterochromia. We're going to make
It's his turn. He hasn't rolled for forever, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Why are you giving that look, TJ?
Come on.
we
What was it?
What was it? 19?
You know it was a 10.
Oh.
It was like right there.
it's literally
we
half of
constantly
what he-
trade off so everybody gets a chance and
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So it is the
most of us
24th.
fail. So you're not bad.
It just takes a while, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
is the 24th of Lahg. You guys went to bed early.
Yep.
You went to bed which is why you went to bed so when it was so quick after shopping. You went to bed because you went to bed at I don't know, 8, 9, 10 p.m. somewhere around there.
Sounds great.
Because y'all had to wake up at 5 this morning.
I love how you talk about that like it's going to bed early. That's what I'm used to.
Yeah. A lot of us aren't. So a lot of us don't wake up at the butt crack of dawn.
Don't speak for everybody.
Okay, well, I don't wake up at the butt crack.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I do.
He sent me a message like a week ago at 4:30 in the morning, and I'm like, "What are you doing awake, vampire?"
I was like, because
The amount of times
that's
I
when I
wake
usually
up-
go to bed.
The amount of times I wake up to messages and conversations that have happened in our Discord server among us alone, I'm like, oh, that would have been nice to weigh in on. Okay.
Yeah, well, the thing is because most of my conversations happen around 8, 9, 10, 11 p.m. and that's when I'm in it and I have time to do stuff. And y'all are asleep by that time.
Oh, yeah.
It's called regular work hours. That's what it's called.
Because at 5:30, the boy's like, wide awake.
Okay, so, anyway, you wake up with the butt crack of dawn.
Yes.
Because you have to be there at first light. Granted, first light doesn't mean a whole lot much except in underground towns, except for Minheim, because you can see the light. You can just see that cascading kind of blue grayness outside coming from. The sun isn't quite yet up on the horizon yet. There's no
pre-dawn
orange yet, but that pre-dawn glow. You can hear
I
the
love that
trees
sound.
from the birds that are outside. Just a small buzzing of insects as some insects come in here. You hear the squeak of some of the bats coming back into the cave of Minheim, finding their spot
It's that
from
random
their
light
night's
at
hunt.
5 a.m. that gets really bright for 10 minutes and then goes gray again.
So you guys know that you have about maximum 20 minutes to get your shit together and get to the saltpeter shippers to get on the road.
So I'm getting dressed, putting my belt on underneath my armor. Not that it makes a difference, but hey, I'm kind of funny like that. And
Is your intention to keep it hidden?
yes.
Okay, you got it.
As I walk by Lahg, I'm going to just punch him and go, Lahg, no!
Just clarification, as an artificer, magical items are more indestructible than regular.
Yes, they're far more durable than mundane items. Yes.
They can still be
But if
destroyed,
you
but it
explain
takes a
that to me,
while.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of,
So the way I interpret it and the way I like to rule it in my world is that it is possible to temporarily dispel an item that is magical with spells like Dispel Magic or Anti-Magic Field. However, it will most often, 9 times out of 10, reassert its, if not more than that, reassert its magic upon itself after a short while.
Right.
Now, during this time, it is more vulnerable to damage, but for example, a magical item that hasn't been suspended of its magic isn't indestructible. If you throw it into a pool of magma,
It's still gonna
stuff's going to happen to it. I mean, it's not entirely indestructible. It's just because, it's still an item, whether it be protected magically. The abjurative magics that would need to be applied to an item for it to be immune to full-on magma are more specialized. That is pure abjurative magic.
just
that
like-
needs to be applied.
I mean, we
And that's what
regular
he explained
battle
to me.
damage.
we
But he
mentioned
explained
that
that
House
easily
on
in a
Fire
video.
trying to bust open a safe.
Right. So here's the deal. When you're fighting some creature like a gelatinous ooze, for example, which is a highly acidic enemy that when you fight it with mundane weapons, it dissolves your weapons. If you fight it with a magic weapon, it's not affected by that.
Right.
Because it is a quick slash through it. It is far more durable. It doesn't start to dissolve.
Right.
Make sense? Mm-hmm. Cool. So it's more of those types of things. Great. So you throw your armor on, put your belt under it.
It's nice and shiny. I cleaned it up.
You got it.
So
Your
it's clean.
mini should be all painted to
Yep.
resemble that as well.
It's nice and shiny.
So cool.
As you have new silver and white armor, you use the coals to make some the
Breakfast.
coals of the forge to make some breakfast and let them die down. Argus and Ermgrim have a little talk with each other, kind of like, little cock measuring exercise with their flames for a moment.
Yes, flame.
I can
He's like-
flambe this in 20 seconds.
So Ermgrim has like a straight up like plasma torch, whereas
I'm kind of imagining
Yeah,
it's a
it's like-
Halo sword.
And do
yeah,
I,
it's kind of like that, except it's like plasma
sword, like fire.
fire. Yeah.
and do I realize that we're going into a situation that's going to be more than
Oh, for
likely
sure.
net by?
Yeah.
Being mercenaries.
Very, very much so. Like you're about to go to work.
Okay, so I just remind everyone: don't forget, 10 feet within me, you'll be safe. Just keep that in mind for battle.
Yes.
Safer. Yeah.
Safer.
Yeah. Yeah. I read the ER. Safe. We're gonna say safe.
It's like a whole skillet of mushroom and veggie scrambled eggs.
That sounds good. Anyway,
Good, yeah.
I want that now. I've had like 4 bagels and I still want that. Could you please? Great. So, you guys got to hustle. It's time to go.
Yeah.
Time to boogie.
Yep.
So you guys get all your shit together. Is there anything else? I mean, Argus isn't here, but is there anything else that you guys would like to do before leaving the Firebeard homestead for the last time?
Just the Firebeard Home said no.
do you need
Can
your
you say
shield?
Danny
that you put
McBride.
on?
Danny McBride.
Or can you do that in battle?
Yeah, I can.
Look it up.
I'll mage shield.
Eastbound
or
and down?
Mage armor. Sorry.
Oh,
Definitely.
Tropic Thunder.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Or like
I
he was
will
in,
definitely do.
was it, Pineapple Express?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mullet Vice Principal.
He looks like somebody who would be in Trailer Park Boys. Too.
Yes. Yeah.
Are there any particularly nice? Okay. You said there was pretty much any weapon that we could want to take.
Yeah. Here. I mean, like as far as mundane. Sorry.
Here.
As far as modernity, yeah.
Modernity.
Modernity.
I just-
it's the adjective or it's the noun form of mundane.
Okay.
I just don't want all of her work to just get looted. So I'm gonna take a couple of blades.
What kind of blade? Okay, I mean, it's not an unlimited supply.
No.
How-
Like
what do you
a couple daggers, couple short swords, long
You can
sword,
get 2 short swords and 5 daggers.
and a long sword.
You can have a long sword. Yes. A long sword, 2 short swords. You're just throwing all this stuff into the bag of holding,
Yeah.
I assume? Okay. You are pushing it.
Can I have one of the daggers?
I traded a bunch
You
of
did.
crap.
I'm just saying, but that's a lot of fucking equipment. I'm just like, okay. There is a body in there, right?
Yes.
You're putting unsheathed blades into
Wait,
it
wait.
as well.
Quick question. You did not put the spore pot in the bag, right? Okay.
There, I mean, you're fine. You're okay with the bag of holding. You did empty it. You did good job. I'm just saying, it is not a bottomless pit.
No, it's
will,
not.
Like,
I have a spreadsheet. I am tracking
okay.
what is in
Okay.
the bag.
Could I have one of those daggers on my person?
Oh my god, this is delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's, I think
the one Adam
Adam
brought.
Is it the outer?
Yeah.
I miss
Yep,
Lounge
yep,
tap
yep.
rooms.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's so piney and delicious. I love it.
I love the art.
Reminds me of Grog's axe.
Stop by there.
Okay, so yes, you can grab a couple daggers, you can grab 2 short swords, you can grab a single long sword. The wall is starting to look quite bare.
I just want to make sure not all of her stuff gets looted.
I understand.
So you're beating him to the punch.
Well, it's
I can return like
technically still under the
I mean, is
purview
there
of
any
the
iron
sun.
ore around? Do you want to loot that too?
no.
No outworld. Okay, so other than that you pretty much pick this place quite clean, except for some bits and pieces. Great. You guys have to go.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
now. Great.
As we're leaving, I'll just take a moment and be like, just acknowledge the fact that this was the home and altar of the deity that basically brought me back. And so then I'll just be like, thank you. Kind of leave it. And
You say the words, you utter the words thank you to in just a little bit of breath, just so it's audible enough to your Kenran ears, as the last ember of the forge goes out and leaves a small trail of smoke.
If Grimgrim's not up, I'm going to be kicking him. Grim, come on.
But no, he's been up. They were doing that fire measuring exercise.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
They're one of the first ones out the door.
Oh yeah, he's in a hurry.
Argus made coffee.
Yeah.
Yes,
Argus-
knowing Argus made coffee.
Argus made coffee on the run because you are out of time. You have to move.
We're going.
Like,
That's-
you have to move. He's like producing flame while he's running up under his coffee pot on his way past the market and just handing it out and pouring it to people.
Yeah.
You are running.
Ah!
You're
Argus, pour carefully.
you're fully in that anime bread in the mouth running because you're late type stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, Argus, pour carefully.
Okay.
With
So-
mage armor, what's your AC?
Uh,
Like
21.
no, well,
When she's dancing,
I'm
it's
17
stupid.
right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I'm dancing, I'm 22, and then I can throw up shield, and then it's 27.
Which is why when TJ hits her, TJ hits.
She has a very low hit point, so once
Yeah.
I hit her, she's usually
Right. And everyone else is fairly. What's yours?
Mine's only 14.
17. But I can also cast shield.
You have 17 as well.
Yeah, I do that. I'm only 15, but I have 61 hit points.
And then what is?
19.
Okay.
If he
Do you have shield?
Yeah, I have shield
Yeah,
too.
he's shielded.
So I
I have shield.
can add it up to 21 in an emergency if I have the spell slots.
Okay.
Um,
I'm just getting a feel for what everybody's got.
That's why
Okay.
I usually
You guys-
join you in being this. Yeah.
Bogey
Blender.
through some hot coffee and things being passed around. Eventually make it through the Golden Gate. You see the saltpeter shippers have packed up and have started moving. You are late.
oh, hey, we're here, we're coming.
You're barreling through there. You hear, oh, and you see the on-kick skitter and like kind of
No need to slow down.
nip at its things. Well, because they're going towards the main way.
Okay.
Because you guys didn't show up on time, so they started leaving to go to the trial.
I did yell out, hey, we're here.
Yeah. No, well, yeah,
Ermgrim
They
said
stopped.
it was a little ways
Grim,
down
yeah.
the tunnel.
a little bit, yeah.
Ermgrim.
Ermgrim.
okay.
So you see
They
the
also know
on-kick.
better than to leave without their guide, too.
So the
Yeah.
on-keg is, well, they know the way traditionally. But anyway, so the on-keg like skitters and you see it like its mandibles try to reach its bridle and it doesn't really quite get it. Just because it's like, I don't like that feeling. And you see, just without turning around, the guy's like, he turns around, he says, crosses his arms, looks at you and scowls, you're late.
5 minutes.
Every minute costs us something.
We're saving you days.
He's not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Hurry up.
Let's go.
This way.
Ermgrim walks by him, just kind of like side eyes the dude, and the guy's like,
He's back in his dwarven guise
for sure.
right now.
He just
Yeah.
doesn't need to expose himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no
At
reason.
least not until we're out of town.
Yeah. I mean, they know what he is. It's like whatever. They know because his illusion doesn't change what he looks like. Just
You
the
dropped it before, though.
yeah. I'm sorry. The illusion doesn't change like his visage is what I mean. Like his structure. Like he still looks like Ermgrim, except his hair is like a darker brunette,
Yeah.
and his skin is more.
He looks like a regular dwarf that way instead of a druider, but he still looks like Ermgrim.
Yes, he still looks like Ermgrim. It's just
His
skin-
coloring's just more
his
natural.
coloring's just different.
Or-
Okay, cool.
more surface.
His coloring's more mountain dwarvish.
Yeah.
It's more surface level than Underdark level.
Gotcha.
Yes, well, because he's not. Yes, it doesn't matter. He's not. Doesn't look like a gray dwarf. Anyway, so he starts leading you guys to. There is a spot now. That Ermgrim says points this way, and he's just pointing straight at a fucking wall. Just a solid stone wall that kind of dips down a little bit. That is off the beaten path, and you see what the main guy was like. What are you talking about? I can't remember his name. It was Jennifer and no, not Jennifer. I can't remember. It doesn't matter.
We didn't ever ask his name.
No,
Yeah,
we
we
didn't.
did.
Three of their names did get
Other
revealed.
names.
We have talked to this dude twice, and we have never once asked his name.
You didn't ask, but you learned his name because the three of their names were revealed during conversations.
But Argus would know because
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't.
The
It doesn't
person who's
matter.
not here would know.
Hold on, I'm just trying to move it forward. It doesn't matter. He's pointing towards a stone wall, and
Hey,
and
all those
the-
who
the-
wander are lost.
and the like the caravan leader is like, can't just take the caravan through solid stone. I'm like, and he's like, you might not be able to. I can. And he just takes his plasma thing and goes, and he first takes his plasma thing and then he goes like this, and there's like this thunderous from his form as he goes, and he enlarges himself to become 8 times the size as he was before, or like 8 times the mass, and he just gets big, and he goes and he takes his plasma torch. This is now just as big, and goes. It's very Star Wars Episode 1. This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them style, like where they're like opening a door in the blast doors. Same very, and you just see molten rock as.
Cole's gonna look at the main driver and go, "Not all those who wander are lost, dude."
He just is like, looks at you in disgust, and then you see this molten rock start to drip off of this red hot orangeness from, and he's just carving, and you see once he finally finishes the arc pattern, a bunch of the rock starts to collapse in, and there's a tunnel as he just can sense when there's a worm tunnel.
and Jargus. How does that compare to your fire?
What? I mean,
Yeah.
can he talk to souls?
Can you make your fire that big?
Souls are that big.
And just start walking through.
Great. There's a couple minutes where you guys have to help move a lot of the debris out of the way, because although there's a doorway, a bunch of it kind of collapsed in. So you guys move the debris out of the way, and you move down in.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at the thought of Cole trying to move debris out of the thing.
We have crowbars.
That's true. I can totally
All
see
of you
Crow.
pull out your crowbars. Great. So
And we're on it
eventually,
again.
there's enough of a way. You get a couple of weird looks from other people going down, like the safer routes. Go down. There's quite a bit of an incline as you start to go down, and this for sure is a tunnel of probably a more of an adolescent worm that may at some point join up with a much larger area. But it starts to get much darker now. There's no longer any torchlight here.
Light.
You cast light on your belt buckle. A couple of the other individuals, because there are some humans here too, attach light torches that are attached to the carts.
I also do pull out that lantern.
Well, actually, no, they don't. They do not, because they are transporting saltpeter. So what they do is that they is that the storm?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I
Okay,
wondered about that.
so you actually see a couple of the humans pull out from their pouches these like big grubs about like this big, and then they kind of like they just shake the grub, and it goes like.
I also hand the Eternal Lantern over to either Trisheni or Eleazar, whoever wants it.
Okay, cool. You hand the Eternal Lantern over to Eleazar. It's a bullseye right now, or is it just?
Yeah, it's a bullseye.
Do you have a full bullseye lantern that gives off light for 60 feet ahead of you, and it's like a silvery light.
Okay.
And you see a couple of the humans like pull out these like big old grubs that are like twice the size of their fist, and they shake them. The grubs go, and they get all like a little dizzy, and they start to like slowly glow as they shake them, and they're like glowing these little like bioluminescent green and yellow lights, and then they just kind of like take them and just plop them on their shoulder, and they just stick there. They look dizzy, and they look dizzy for like a whole hour, just trying to like, oh my god, what just happened? And you keep traveling and keep traveling. After an hour, they take them off their shoulder, they shake them again, and they put them back on their shoulder. It appear to be like glow grubs. Zemdak, you're familiar with these. They are used often in mines that could possibly have methane pockets, so that you don't set them.
You need to avoid the flammables.
However, they are
Syndrome.
hard to find, and they're
But that's why us gnomes developed these gold globes instead of.
Well, and as when they pull them down,
but
to
they're a
shake
lot
them, I just
cheaper
go,
than those.
Right.
Yeah.
I just look down and go, "Tush," reestablish my light.
You do it. You do it. I mean, granted, these people are by the government, so on a government salary, they can afford so much. But this is what the government is willing to pay for them for lighting, because Tokrin is
just
a little greedy. Granted, and it is viable, but it is nowhere near as expensive as your glow orbs.
I mean, the cute little grubbies.
I know. I feel
They
like
do
some-
give off
They are
30 feet
greedy,
light,
and
they're
yet
better than
you
your
kept
trinkets.
dropping
You gotta
coins
constantly
in
give them
addition.
concussions to make them
So
glow. It's not right.
yeah. I feel
They
like-
look a little dizzy, like what just happened, but they also, they don't seem to like.
Doesn't permanently harm.
Yeah,
them.
yeah. They don't seem too bothered by it. It's almost as if like.
But I mean, they're so cute.
I know. I think Sopka wouldn't like this.
It's like a Nerf football.
Yeah, they're also like you have to remember these things are at
It's
the
not like
bottom of the
Olympics where
food
you crack
chain.
them
Yeah.
and shake.
They get something out of this relationship. They get to be safe and not be eaten by literally every other creature in the
And get food.
So they're like, yeah, I get shaken up a couple times, but it's a living, you know.
As we're going through the tunnel, are there any like guano deposits? Are there
Are
any
you looking
like
for worm poop?
He loves shit.
poop of any kind, biomass of any kind?
Biomass of any kind. Here's what I'm gonna say. First, we're gonna roll for the day's travel, and then we'll see, depending on what you rolled, what happens.
Who wants? Do you have
I'll
the
take
dice
it.
box?
I got it.
Yeah.
I'll take
Yeah, I
it
got
if you
you.
want. So I got mine down here.
Yeah, I mean we all have. I was just the
Oh, yeah.
padded
The
leather
official
one.
Yeah.
That is less.
The top of his dice tray.
2
Wow.
instead of the nat one. It almost was.
2.
I mean, it's got to be something good, right?
It's not an at one.
Not an at one.
Oh no, D100. Now here, just
Yeah, you just leave it.
unless we have a map.
See that
out my
table collapse with it
table.
sometime.
Is it
Going to look at my table.
not really level? Is it?
We're all looking at your table. What are you talking?
So, the first day of travel, you guys go down an easy decline as you are making your way slowly and slowly down into the Underdark. This easy decline makes it. It's not too much of a grade, so that the carts are running over their steeds or their draw creatures like horses in the Ankeg.
But it's an easy pull.
But it's a very easy pull, so much so that you guys gain a day. So you guys are going to get there in if today was the first day, you will get there in only 3 more days. Because
So we basically skipped the second day.
you gained a whole day. Like, yeah, you went for the whole day due to this.
Yeah.
And that was due to Ermgrim's great find of what this is. That's really great for you. That does mean that you realize at some point, actually, Trisheni, you specifically, due to your affinity and your past experience with planar travel, you feel immediately when you pass into the Underdark. And it's weird because when you do that, it starts to level out, and there's a path that goes further down, and there's a path that levels out a little bit more, and Ermgrim says this way to the one that levels out a little more. So you feel like constantly uneasy because you feel that when you're on a roller coaster and you feel that weightness of that sinking in your chest.
Like we should be going down more because to fit into the plane, but we're not.
You're not. You're like
riding
riding that boundary, and almost like he's doing it on purpose. And sometimes the tunnel that you're going through goes up and down, up through the boundary and down back through the boundary, up down through the boundary. It happens
Did you pick
often.
up any ginger? Did you do that? in the market.
I got carrots.
For you being
Some garlic.
All right.
For you being particularly sensitive, it doesn't feel great. It's
Yeah.
not too bad, but it just doesn't feel great. You are probably curious as to why you're staying here rather than just going.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know what you want to know what's down there.
No, I mean,
I've got
I
some
was-
garlic. I can make
I
some
mean,
garlic water.
that always helps. I mean, you know, I just, I mean, I understand what we saw even above ground, like above ground before not being in the Underdark, but like this is, dude, can we pick a lane and just be in one?
So without turning around as Ermgrim keeps plodding forward, and just kind of looking over his shoulder. So you can feel that too, eh?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Is that what that? Is that what that feels like?
It's necessary. I don't know how much you know about material planes being woven together through physicality, but when the material of the underground elides into the Underdark, space gets a little wibbly wobbly.
Oh.
So if it's like riding a wave on the water, or it's more like riding space. So every step we take here is probably equal to maybe about 20 or anywhere between 2 and 20 steps, because space is all messed up when it comes to the threshold of planes, which is why we can get there in 5 days.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
So it's like riding the wave of a plane.
So we're teleporting further every time we dip and come back.
It's
actually.
I don't really understand the convoluted
That's fair. That's fair.
conjuration magic behind it. All I know is that it gets me there faster if I keep going, if I keep riding the top of it.
You
I have a
just
theory.
Cole hears this and he does like 10 dance steps in one spot. It's like, I just traveled 100 steps.
Good for you.
just lead on. Just keep doing what you're doing.
I have a theory, and I'll try to explain to you, like, with mathematics and stuff. I'll be like, oh, don't you see this?
Yeah, this is fascinating to you, being like, oh heck,
Even though I'm like queasy. a little
purely
bit.
manifesting in the physical without the use of magic, you can distort space. And your mind harkens back to the whole Fothed ruins with that space distortion, which, wait a second. If the space between planes has spatial distortion, what's to say that did too?
Can we get some rocks from here, like some samples? That'd be really cool.
Well, that was. Can I do some investigation and like see if there's anything interesting?
Yes,
Along
along
our
the
route?
way, yeah. Specifically, you're looking for worm poop.
I was looking for biomass.
Oh, you're looking for biomass. Okay, yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll an investigation check for today's travel.
Can I find some cool rocks?
You could easily, without an investigation check, pick up any rocks you would like.
Cool. All right. Let's stuff
Yes,
them
there
in
are
there.
20 rocks. 25.
But are they cool rocks?
They are very cool to the touch. Yes.
Excellent.
So you are looking for You are looking for biomass. You come across a couple swords of mushrooms and other fungi that are here every
cool.
once in a while. You do come across what looks like a very old skeleton of an amphiptera. There is whatever's left as far as biomass is concerned, other than bones, is very tough, like mummified leather, just because of how probably sealed off from air this tunnel was for quite a while.
I'll harvest any mushrooms though.
Yeah, you can harvest some mushrooms.
Is the Offenterror skull intact?
It is, yes.
I'll take it.
Take the amphiptera skull. Bunch of the bones start to crumble below.
Cole's still just randomly.
Great.
dancing
So
in
that's
lines.
your day. If nothing
The
else,
idea of thinking that he's the-
How much time do we have to get to a decent little respite?
time here is wibbly wobbly. So for the way you perceive it, days pass. But I mean, there's no sun. You travel until you get tired. And travel during a day is usually about 8 hours of travel. And by the end of it, you guys are pretty tired because you guys are not on steeds. You might be on conch if you'd like to be. So you're probably a person that isn't as tired because you could just be like cradled like
Riding
a baby or
most
sit
of the
on
time.
top of him if you want to. But the rest of you are walking. The carts themselves are reserved for like shotgunners, which aren't actually shotgunners, but like people who sit in shotgun just to like be careful and to watch over. Someone who sits on the back, and the car, and the person who has the bridles, and that's it. Everyone else is walking with the caravan, and you are the on foot first response mercenary protection. So it's a haul. It's not easy. And it's still, there's uneven terrain everywhere. It's not like, although it's a tunnel, it's not like a worm created tunnel. It doesn't mean that it doesn't go up and down and swerve around. It's not a man-made tunnel. It's a creature-made tunnel. Right. So there is, when you do that adolescent tunnel, when that spot evened out and it started to go up and down through the plane, that's when the tunnel widened up. It was supposed to be probably one of a larger worm. But that's it. Nothing else. You guys are at the end of the day of travel. Yes.
I'm going to try to write down some thoughts on the PP spell.
You got it. Okay. You want to roll an Arcana check, correct?
Yes. So I think that's what. Cool beans. 25.
25. Was that a natural 20?
No, it was a 17.
17. Okay. 25. That is 2 successes.
How
That's
many?
the DC for 2 successes.
That's awesome. I have 6 successes. That means
Okay, you need 10.
Okay, cool.
I am gonna try and make headway into the blasphemous kumquat spell.
Okay. Yes. Here's what I'm going to say.
I have no successes. I'm kind of thinking of it more as I'm trying to come up with the main idea.
Right. Okay. Okay, actually, I have an idea. Go ahead and roll an intelligence check.
Yay! I'm gonna suck at this.
Would enhance ability help that or no? Because it's technically not a just check of overall, not like a
Yeah, it's
skill.
just
Worried about
intelligence
wasting
modifier.
the spell on this one. So I rolled a 4, which makes it a 5.
You've hit a bit of a block. You get the idea of what it is that you kind of want to do, but it's super vague, and you just don't know how you would ever apply this. Yeah, you still need to think about okay, I have the reagents for like a good joke. There's a joke there, but I just don't know what the joke is. That kind of feeling. You know what I mean?
Got somebody walks into a bar and something happens, but I don't know what the middle part is.
Yeah. So it kind of eludes you at the moment.
I'm gonna work the balls.
You work the balls. You got it. That's going to be
So just charisma.
it's just straight charisma. The reason why you get Arcana is because you are a wizard. This is
Right.
your thing.
This is what I
your,
do.
Like your class is specifically geared towards creating spells. That's what you do.
Makes sense.
11.
11. That is a minor success, so you can put down 1 there. It is the way you're dealing with that idea right now is, and this is kind of stuff that you could do while you're on the road, kind of, as long as you don't need to sit down and really focus on your notes. This is more you toying with the idea in your head and kind of doing small little magic things every once in a while and be like, do this, where you're just kind of on autopilot walking. But other things that are more intense, at some point you'll have to can I hop on the cart because I've really got to fucking write this or read this real quick. Those kind of things. You, at the moment, it's more of a joke to you, and you're trying to make it be oh, this would be really fun as a prank, and you haven't quite realized just how effective it could be, if that makes sense. But you succeed in it. Anybody else? Okay, cool. So it is time to rest after the day of travel.
I'll do that tonight. Unless you want to do yours as well.
I mean, any of us there might as well have 2.
Actually, yeah, on the road we might as well have 2. But before you and I separate, Intellect Fortress.
There's a cool moon. Somebody wake me up.
Might as well sleep in his hut then.
The caravan, in case you're not used to as Argus is like, yeah, I know. He interrupts them. Like, I understand how it works. Half of us have to go in the front, half of us have to go in the back.
Right.
Make sure both flanks are covered. He's like, hey, well, just as much sleep as you need before we get back on the road.
Magical barricade in the front, magical barricade in the back.
Exactly.
You can do that. It won't take up the entire space, but a good amount of it. Yeah, it'll be a good. It's pretty decent bottleneck.
It'll only last us 8 hours for taking watch. It'll last longer, but it'll go down at some point.
Yeah, I mean, you're because Pernua is with you, Conk is with you, Tweg is with you, Shakar is with you. Y'all don't have to take shifts. You can just have people that are taking watch. Since they hired you, they're just sleeping. None of them are taking full watch. They had paid you to do this. This is your job.
It also depends on where Pernua goes and Tweg goes and everybody.
Oh no, they're smart enough to split the way they want to go. It's essentially up to you guys.
No, and that's what I was saying.
Yeah, who wants to be front team? Who wants to be backside team?
I think backside over here. Yeah, fine.
Okay. Conk and I are with him, so Conk and Twag, Pernua and Shakar.
Yeah, Moonchild.
Okay.
Are they in the front? Is
Then
that
Argus be in the back with us.
Okay.
Front.
Butt team is Cole, Argus, and Eleazar.
sure?
And you?
I think I'll be front
Wait.
just because.
Someone
No.
who doesn't sleep.
One of you two has to come back with us.
Uh
Pernua can be back there, but that's just Pernua.
oh, I can come back then because
Then
Then you'll have Shakar on one
Yeah,
side and
Pernua and
Yeah,
Shakar.
that's fine.
Right,
Yeah.
that's why I was saying like
And then-
one of you two has to come back.
Yeah.
Conk, Moonchild, and Twag.
You got it. Yeah. Moonchild doesn't need to sleep, but they do sleep because they like it.
Because you want them to sleep.
Right. They're sleeping.
Yeah, you know.
So great, you guys go to bed. Can I here? I'm just gonna truncate it here. Can the butt group and the front group roll perception checks? Just
Right.
one each,
Well,
and you just add the highest perception check of one of the creatures that's on.
Who's got the best? Oh, okay.
Shakar
Well,
has
okay, so we
But
all
wait,
roll,
wait.
basically.
But Cole, you're sleeping. You're not on watch.
Okay.
So it's one of the creatures that is
Well,
watch.
one of the creatures on watch.
Yeah, the highest perception check of one of the creatures that is on watch.
so Shakar.
So that would be between Pernua and Shakar in the back.
Shakar has proficiencies and advantage, so I'm pretty sure it's.
What are Moonchild and Twag?
I'm pretty sure it's Moonchild because they have
Yeah.
advantage.
Well, or yeah, hearing and smell.
Yeah.
And it's also +3 for Moonchild. Twag is going to be like nothing.
What is Conk?
Conk has a +5. He can't be surprised
It's up to you guys.
with dark vision. So I don't know.
Just double check Twag.
But the hearing and smelling might be better because you have advantage.
Just like
Right.
perception.
Advantage +3 is probably better than just sneak
Yeah.
+5. So
Oh,
go for it.
Yeah, see, I think Twag's not going to have anything.
Okay, what did Butt Team get?
But team got a
I
19.
mean, I'm
Butt Team
rolling.
got 19. You got it.
Yeah, go for it.
So it's only a 10.
Exactly. If it squats all day.
Moonchild, it absolutely at some point gets bored and curls up with you and just goes.
Understandable.
Shakar, at some point does hear some things, but it is the white noise of the Underdark that Shakar is not used to, and it is unsettling. It's essentially actually there's a scientific term. It's not white noise. It's called brown noise.
Oh, brown, not the pink noise. There's
From the
pink. No, there's pink noise.
There's
That's
pink noise.
actually a thing.
No, it's brown noise. So it has far more
Brown noise is a
bass.
special note that makes you crap your
No,
pants.
that's the brown noise.
It's the brown note.
Brown noise. Brown noise has far more bass than white noise has.
Okay.
But it's like soothing, but it also it ensues like a or
I like that.
translates a feeling of pressure. Where
Like that civic center ambient noise a little bit, kind of.
yeah, a little bit, and where it's that Shakar's just not used to, and it's kind of throwing him off. Although he can hear everything, at most he hears like a tremor or two far distance that doesn't affect the topography here.
And this
Nothing of note, really, but that subtle noise that is consistent is new. It's something that's going to take a while to get used to.
Is this anything like the hum of fluorescent lights or no?
That's higher.
That's much higher.
Okay, I just wanted to double check.
No, this is much lower.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to be.
Like, think of like a white noise that's full of bass.
Yeah.
That's very, very subtle.
Just wanted to double check.
It's almost like it makes the air feel thick.
It's like at the very bottom of your hearing range,
Yeah.
but it's enough of vibration that it constantly keeps you off balance.
Many of the denizens that live here have been born into it and are far used to it. But creatures that don't, it's one of the also the underlying causes that make people just afraid of the Underdark, because they constantly feel uneasy because their inner ear is saying, "Hey, you're uneasy. This isn't
Right.
good." Which the denizens of the Underdark take advantage of. Makes for easier prey.
Okay.
Great. Other than that, the day passes with little incident. You wake up on the 25th. You're going to do your thing.
I've got advantage because he did his
It's
fortress
true.
thing.
Mage armor, good berries for everybody.
Yes,
Great.
when you wake up.
Yeah. We just.
Moon check first.
Yep.
That's going to be a success. 18 total.
18 total. You got it.
Your vampire thing only lasted a day, correct?
Right, yeah, so now that's going to be... I can't hear you anymore.
You can't hear the blood. Correct. Okay. Yes, the sound of blood pumping fades and passes. There is a moment, unbeknownst to you, you do it. You don't mean to do it. It's unintentional, but you revert into your wolf form during your sleep. You have a dream of running free through the woods, and you hear other quadrupeds of like the same cadence
Packmates.
and gait moving throughout. Those of you that wake up witness Lahg and Moonchild kind of curled up together in a yin-yang formation on the ground.
Do a doggy dream run.
Yeah, they do that thing.
I can actually see them like they're running and their paws are like hitting each other.
You awake with just this very strong bond of you both awake, your heads both raise in wolf form as you look at each other, but you're in the dome, so nobody sees you in this form. As you kind of just look at each other and just kind of nod at each other and recognize you're like simpatico in this moment. And for the next 24 hours, as long as you two are within 30 feet of each other, you have advantage on initiative rolls.
Yeah, long.
Nice.
Might actually go early in initiative order for once.
Happened a couple-ish times.
Well, both of you do. Well, I guess it's just you because they act on your turn, right? They don't have their own initiative.
Right, yeah. That's how we're playing it.
And then Eleazar is gonna.
Because I don't want to
wake up-
complicate it. So many initiatives.
And then Eleazar is gonna wake up and say his morning prayer.
Okay. You got it. Do you want to say your prayer, or is it just a daily absolution?
No, it's never gonna be the same. I don't believe in that same repetitive. I'll just
Every
say.
day's different. Why should your prayer be the same?
Right, I agree. He will say, on bended knee, warm blizzard, I approach you to please be our light in darkness as we travel this day. Amen.
Okay. Roll a religion check for him.
Oh, I was just saying this to say.
It's a very specific request.
Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Zero. Okay, so not 20.
Okay. You just see, like, Eleazar step to the side, go down on one knee, pull his sword, puts it in the ground, just here. Speaking in Draconic, I assume. And then as he does, you just see, like, there's kind of an ambient... when you see, like, when you're watching that low-res movie and you see light come into the frame, you can see, like, the radiations of, like, the rings of different different lumens of light.
That white fire around him, kind of.
Yeah. And you can see, like, the rings of where, like, the different gradients of lumens of light come around. Like, you can see that forming around Eleazar's one horn. And as he finishes, he stands up, and his one horn is encased is a very, very, very thin sheet of ice that gives off this low, dim light for 60 feet around him.
That's super cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
totally
it's
going
like
to.
it's not a light that is that affects like sunlight sensitivity people and stuff like that. It's a very, very dim yet extremely visible. Imagine the amount of light that reflects off of snow or ice on an overcast day when the sun is still in the sky behind the clouds. That's what the feel is like.
Cool. Now, do I notice it, or
I mean, things around you are lit up
right?
without you having to
Like,
light
yeah,
anything.
Right.
So, I mean, you can't really see your horn. You're like,
You're
This
glowing,
is
man.
cool.
I mean, it's
As
pretty
you,
cool. It's
as you
like,
tilt
yeah.
your head, though, like the
it's the one
light
full horn
sort
that's
of
still
like
intact.
Okay, cool.
flickers around you.
Just imagine it.
Yeah, like you can't see the source of it.
It's kind
there.
of like putting like a laser pointer on your cat's head and then letting them like try and figure out where the laser pointer's coming from.
the dragonborn running around trying to catch his own light.
And,
Yeah.
cool. And
Did you
say
know your horn is glowing? Is that normal? I don't think I've ever seen you
So
do
it's
that.
pretty much until you go to sleep tonight.
No, I've never seen this before.
Can I touch it?
Absolutely.
It's like cold ice.
Is that cold on your head?
No, it feels normal.
Okay.
And they say the dragons didn't exist.
Dragon
I'm just
magic's
like- I'm just
weird,
like-
man.
That's a fancy trick, but I'd still prefer my light. Not like I need it.
Really, mine works just fine, and I do my light.
And I still prefer the warm blizzard.
He's like, I'd hate.
I mean,
Look, I just need somebody show us some light. That's all that I care about. I don't care about anything else. Come on.
With all this light in my face, I've lost my way.
Does Moonchild still have a glow?
Don't worry, I know you found your way.
Right. I meant to tell you stuff about the calendar. Because
Sure you did. Sure you did.
No. You asked about it before, and I pulled it up and
it's like double waning, one full.
that's great. The 24th, the 23rd was the triple full.
Yeah.
Remember, the 24th was a double. Amziel and Zeliel were full moons.
Yeah.
The 25th, Zeliel is still a full moon for the third day.
Is that normal for that moon?
They're the moons. So you try not to equate it too much
No,
with our moon.
of course. But
I mean, the phases of because it could just be orbiting in a way where it could consistently do it.
It's got a slower orbit. So
Yeah, a
it's
slower
in,
orbit, and it's more relative to the planet as well as whatever the sun is as well. So it could absolutely stay in a position where it could be a full moon for 3 days in a row. Yeah,
It's a geosynchronous.
yeah. It's like it's almost geosyncratic orbit. Yeah.
It's geocentric. Stability is different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They all
I can
have
say
different
words.
they all have different geosyncrasies.
synchronicity.
Synchronicities. Thank you. Yeah, we got it.
All together now.
So yes, you know that today, as you wake up on the 25th, that Bezer is on the last quarter. Zeliel is the full moon, and Amziel is a waning gibbous. Now, because it is still full moon, yes, it does have a bit of a luminous thing to it. It is lessened since the 3 full moons, but they still are slightly more powerful, as are you during a full moon. You still get one of those extra dies or that extra stuff to it. Obviously, when it's all three, it's far more powerful.
Yeah. And I think I actually forgot to bring that up when we had that battle that night.
Oh, right.
I totally forgot to ask about it after you reminded me.
I'm so sorry. It's me. There's so much stuff I have to keep track of. But yes. Okay. So, who wants to roll for today's travel? As a bunch of the workers pull out. A bunch of the workers begin to pull out the grubs, and they're like, "Oh." They just put them.
Yeah, they're just a fuck ton of light round. We all of us now. Well, I think you used a lantern earlier, so you have the lantern now.
It's 4.
Another 4.
Well,
It was 2 yesterday.
Yeah.
Today's a 4.
But another single digit.
Yes.
on
it's
a 100-sided die.
It's 1 face off from the 100.
So,
Well, yeah, that's what the 2 was, too. It was 1 face off from the 1.
you get to a point where Armgrim just stops, and the on-kick is pulled. Whoa! And you see your light just drops off past where Armgrim is. It just completely drops off. There's just no light. And he's just standing there, and he's like,
You right?
What's the holdup?
well, bit of a drop-off.
How much of a drop off?
Looks like we might be in for a bit of a ride.
I grab
We
my
get this right.
I grab a pebble and move my light spell from my belt to the pebble and throw it off the edge to see how far.
You
it goes
walk
down.
up to him and you see this thing goes
Well, that's
down at a
well,
very
no,
steep
and
grade.
No, and that's why I'm
throw
throwing
the
it to
pebble?
see if to see how deep it is and
Sure.
everything like that.
You toss the pebble. I'm just saying, as you step up next to him, you can see now over this lip, and you throw the pebble down as it light, and it goes.
So it's a nice little drop.
It is quite a steep grade for quite a long time. Granted, this could cut some travel, but he's like, "Alright, I think we're gonna have to reverse hitch the mounts, possibly, maybe even leave them behind. I don't know, unless you can get them in the carts themselves. And we're gonna have to possibly hitch the carts together. If we have any planks, elongate them. Everybody's got to get on the cart. We're about to go for a ride.
How long do you think?
Unless you want to anchor here and hoist us down via a pulley.
How long?
I mean, we've done stuff like that before.
You have several hundred feet of rope,
Yes.
several thousand.
No.
That's how long it is. Okay, great.
Could be.
We
No way to
don't
tell
know.
until we get down there.
What if we send a scouting party first, and then we can
Sure.
here.
Grab another one, drop it just straight down.
Shikara, why don't you go down and take a little look-see?
There you go.
It just goes until you can't see the light anymore.
Bam.
Shikara's gonna fly down. I'm gonna work in Shikara. We'll fly down and figure out exactly
Okay.
how long this is.
I mean, after 100 feet, you can't give him, but you can still witness what it is.
yeah, I'm still
He
warped in.
flies
Yeah.
and flies and flies.
I'll tell him to come back when, before he leaves my range. I'll be like, come back when you hit a
well,
better
It's only
bottom.
100 feet. He
No.
says
Before he leaves, I'm going to tell him come back once you hit kind of a gentle bottom, and then he'll
Okay,
do
cool.
that.
You warg into him, and you can stay warged into him regardless of the distance. You just don't have control over
Yeah.
him. He flies a good 2,500 feet down before he finally finds a spot, and he just kind of looks it, and then it goes up,
So he'll come back at that point.
and he flies back up.
Looks like about 2,500 feet.
Give
Shikara's
or
coming
take.
back.
It's hard to
Ish.
tell when you're in an owl, but
It's a bit tough, kind of like flying around. No, not
You
to
said
my body.
2,500 feet?
What? Work out.
Yeah,
It's about 2,500 feet. Yeah.
So about a half a mile, roughly.
Yeah.
of
Of
like
this-
roller coaster down.
I can get like 5 of us down there if we just run and jump. I can't guarantee the carts.
That's the problem.
We can't leave the carts behind.
No.
So
It's like a 45-degree angle, guys.
Right. So it's going to be
Like
so
even if you
steep.
run and jump, you're still gonna hit the ground.
I know.
Unless
So I'm
we
saying I
just-
can get 5 of us down.
Yeah, that's
Oh no, you wouldn't be even with Featherfall. You wouldn't be able to make it down. You wouldn't be able to drift down because it's too much. It's too far of an angle. It's not a straight shot.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't like with Featherfall. You can't like move
Angle it.
sideways. You
Right,
can
it's
straight
literally
fall.
a straight fall, yeah.
You could polymorph one of the rides into an eagle and fly us down.
we could certainly try. I did prepare that today, you know?
we can't leave the carts behind. Though,
Yeah.
So
you can't.
Yeah, 'cause that's got all the stuff in it.
Armgrim was
You
like,
don't have levitate or anything, do you?
if we can hitch the carts together, we can ride them down.
Right.
But everybody's got to get on the cart.
we can roller coaster this thing.
There's no way we can properly make sure we can break our way down. It's the mouse
That-
won't be able to
that's
handle
a good
it.
idea.
But could we,
It's not a good idea.
could we get on there and then could like
That's going to be our only.
all of us that have the ability kind of push and ride and kind of guide it down with Mage Hand?
No,
It's not much.
it's 5 pounds.
You see the caravan leader's like, no, hold on. I know, Sketchy here, and he points at the Ankeg. Sketchy here has limited flight capabilities. He could probably air brake us down
Right.
a little bit, but the horse.
Can
I'm
we?
not sure the horse can even
could
make it.
turn
Can we
horse
hobble the
into
horse and put him in one of the carts?
You can
do
always
that.
turn the horse into something else.
Yeah, I can do that.
Right?
What do you want?
Another Ankeg?
Is that possible with polymorph? I don't think it is, but I
I'm
don't know.
pretty sure it says beast.
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yes,
An arcade's not a
exactly.
beast.
So I don't
No,
think
it's not
it could
a
be.
beast.
You can do
Could do a little like
There's like specific things when it comes to
Yeah.
polymorph as like
Giant
the-
giant bat.
Beast.
Yeah, giant bat.
spider.
Spider might actually work really
Yeah,
well.
Giants. Cole will be screaming the entire time. But if that's what we need to do, let's do it.
Yeah.
Make it like a
you can also
spider.
back it up like put a tow cable as the webbing of the giant spider
Yeah.
onto the things and have the on-cake air brake it. That's really kind of cool.
Yeah,
Go down slow
maybe-
and then go down fast.
Maybe we do that. We do a little bit of cabling here, a little bit of
I have to shut up because I come up with ideas.
No,
I
but-
can't tell you.
That's kind of what I was thinking already.
You know,
Yeah.
we were working our way towards that. You just shortcutted us. That's not.
We have rope. We can tie the different carts to each other, and then we can put the on-kegs in the back. And this giant spider for the horses,
We could.
and they can slow us down as we go.
Yeah. The only thing is, if saltpeter is highly explosive, yes. So, like, perhaps.
On its own, no.
On
It
its
has
own,
to be
not
mixed.
really. It's not nice to have fire,
Yeah,
but it's
it,
not.
It has
Okay.
a problem with fire. It doesn't have a problem. It's not like nitroglycerin
One-
where
okay.
it bounces.
It's not impact.
Okay.
Prone. Yeah.
Cool. So, yeah, we can do that. It will be my big spell for today, unless I get a little rest. But we can certainly do that.
Okay.
We're gonna get a little rest, right?
Sorry, what are you doing to my horse?
Only for a little bit, and I can drop concentration at any time. They can turn into a giant spider and kind of shoot their web, maybe, to help with breaking and climb down nicely.
You're going to have to convince this horse turned spider to do that.
I know.
Or it can just cling on to the cart and do nothing.
You are aware. It will be a horse is mind.
In a
will
spider's
then
mind.
become a spider's mind. Because you adopt the intelligence score of what you polymorph
Yes.
into. So a horse's personality reduced to a spider's mind just
Unless somebody else wants to be.
No, I can try and talk to it until
Quag's like,
it's a spider.
I got you, bro.
I can try and talk to it until it's a spider. Once it's a spider, I can't guarantee anything.
Can you like just close your eyes?
I
And
mean,
it'll be all
you can
better?
absolutely try it. I'm going to say there's definitely going to be some animal handling checks involved.
Once it's a spider, I will start screaming. I'm just telling you
Okay.
this.
No, that's fair.
You guys have let me be eaten enough by spiders and other things.
That's it. We've been
Once I'm
dead.
unconscious, it's on you. Once I'm unconscious, it's on you. I can't do anything at that point.
Sure. So you're blaming us for you winning the Gutbuster, falling unconscious, and having all of your things ripped up and taken from
No, I'm blaming you for letting spiders bite me until they wrapped me in silk and you had to drag me out of an area.
I mean, that
I
was
got
kind
you
of...
out of the area.
You voluntarily went into that situation. We got you out alive.
It seems like
What
your
more?
teamwork isn't really making the dream work.
Unless
I mean, it depends on how you
That
look
was
at it.
early on
But
in the whole thing.
he's still breathing, so
the horse,
that's a win in my book.
the horse can fit in the cart.
Who else is good with animal handling? I'm just gonna
I
ask.
have +4.
That's what I have.
Can the horse fit in the cart? Because I feel like if one of us at least
You inspiration
If
for dealing with
you
it while
reorganize
it's
some of the
and I
cargo to move some of
Yeah.
the sart beetle into the other cart, possibly it is going to be a tight fit, and the horse most likely will have to lay down and would not be comfortable.
okay.
We could do some craziness where I could enhance ability on my wisdom,
You know how skittish horses are.
inspiration and guidance,
and
and
I can give him some inspiration.
Could you polymorph it into something smaller?
Oh,
So it's
that
just
would be-
not a work.
Or could you polymorph it into something
small
bigger
skull.
that could just carry
do
everything
we
at
do
once?
we need
I
its
didn't.
help?
I didn't.
Bigger question: Do we need its help?
How many on kegs?
just have the
One
one.
on keg, one horse,
Okay, 2 carts.
2 carts.
Could we have one cart? Do the Ankeg takes one cart down, and then we have the Ankeg go back up and get the
Is
other.
there any like
If
even
you
a
want-
small path around this
Argent.
gap that we see?
Like around this area,
Yeah,
go ahead and roll an investigation check, or I guess a perception check.
even better. That's what I meant to roll. I meant to roll that there. I just missed. 17 plus 9.
26.
26 on that perception.
Nope. There's nothing here. It is the unless you want to try to ask Ermgrim if he can like melt a couple more feet of stone to see if he can find another path. This is the path. Here's the deal. Doing this though, there is a possibility that this could get you even there even faster
Right.
if you go the
we don't break
slightly
anything.
more reckless, faster route.
Grim.
Is there anything we can do to help? Like,
I can
I
literally
have-
slow a creature
The
down.
Ankeg, like he said,
makes-
could
it makes-
grab onto one of the carts and try to air brake it by because it does have like bug wings,
Yeah.
kind of like a
I have stone
grasshopper.
shape prepared. If there's anything we can think of to,
Grim.
A
Is
little.
there any way that we can
It's
like
good.
go back and find another path that will get us there in the same amount of time?
We could backtrack
No
and
waste
find a
of time.
safer path, but it's most likely going to cost us some time.
No, we don't have enough time for that.
I can literally
Full
slow.
steam ahead. You sit in the front. Blast anything out of the way.
Okay.
Do you want me
And?
up front?
I'm gonna
What if we replace it?
enhance ability on the Ankeg. Give it bull strength
What if we replace
so that it's extra strong.
What if we replace the horse with Conk?
We tie everything together
Okay.
and we just go for it.
What if we?
How much do
No, but what I'm saying.
How much
is
do they weigh?
The second
These-
cart instead
How
of
much
having
do
a
what?
horse.
Who?
So it's two.
Person at a time. How much do who weigh?
It's two
2 carts,
carts.
like hundreds of pounds,
Okay.
hundreds if not tons,
Okay.
because it is large barrels
Carts
filled
full
with
of kegs.
salt.
Okay.
filled
I mean,
with-
this is a shipment that's meant to create like 10 times as much black powder.
Okay.
As we're going down,
rails, or is it all still?
Hold on, one second. What is it, Kevin?
what I was gonna say is as we're going down, what if we lighten the load as the saltpeter goes into the air by casting like feather fall on it, so that way we don't break any
Get
barrels.
maybe like
Sure.
2 or 3 seconds out.
Alright, I just throwing it out there.
No, yeah, and the only reason why I'm saying it just because of the angle of the tunnel,
Right,
because
It falls
featherfall
slower
stops
than the
as soon as it makes contacts with a surface.
right.
So
Did anybody have a net? Didn't somebody have a net?
Yes, and we lost it when we tried to get the hand out of the thing, and I threw it on there. Oh wait, no, they didn't have one there. Yeah, I haven't restocked my net yet.
Got extra rope. We can just make sure everything's tied down tight.
Yeah, let's make sure it's tight. Do we want to actually slow these creatures down a little bit so they're not going full tilt boogie? They could.
thinking about
like
doing
actually
that.
using
That's just
flow
gonna
and then like
slow
That's
the
actually-
reactions. Does that work
But
with
the-
gravity though?
how did it carry the 3?
It just works for the anatomical physicality of the
I
creature.
think
But
it
they
just
could
makes
have more
them
control.
lower reaction.
No, they'll have less control.
Right.
Because they'll be
Worst
like,
idea.
no. They see it happening, but they can't do anything about it.
I know it's
something work.
I can shape an object up to 5 feet.
I know it's kind of a waste of a big level spell.
You could maybe like
Can we-
make a
We can do it. I can
shrink the horse down
ramp for
so it's
one wheel to
something
pop off
tiny.
or something
Of
like that.
course.
Or if we
Yeah.
make rails to make it go down easier. But is that even?
Yeah, but how long does it take you to cast that spell? It's an
Stone
action?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would do that once every 6 seconds.
I have one. It's a 4th level spell.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
5 feet.
Sit in
One
front
time.
and like use your gravity magic to like throw
I could
things
turn
out of the way if we
wheel
need to.
into-
Okay. I mean, I
Well, the
only
wheel's
have-
made of wood.
Like you can trade off with Argus and he can maybe like melt stuff out of the
It
way.
could be
Alright.
useful if you're going down fast and holy shit, there's a boulder right there that's gonna knock off our wheel, and you could be holding it or like be casting it and then make it flat so that it doesn't
Yeah.
rock jettison you guys up into the air.
Time together, on on the back. Horse is polymorph tiny, so it's not in the way.
Yeah.
You gonna turn it into My Little Pony?
Not my little pony.
It's why is it a table of a bunch of guys know the song better than you know?
You're really gonna think I don't know this song?
Three daughters.
Sing it.
Right.
That's true. Okay, the two guys at the table that have daughters, I understand.
I have no
My Little Pony.
Well, then
What's the rest of the words?
My Little Pony.
No, there's some.
I wonder what friendship could be. There's a new one. You're on the
TJ, I
old one.
think-
I'm doing the old one from
Yeah,
the
you are.
90s.
But I also think you need to look inside yourself and analyze why you know that.
Because it's from that era.
I'm gonna turn the horse into a dog, and
All
I'm
right,
gonna
all
hang
right.
out with us.
All right.
You know,
Oh,
Who's
like
gonna
a little
be-
Yorkshire pup,
Why don't
Yorkshire.
you give it something with
Yorkshire. What are you
wings?
talking about? I'm
Why don't
talking.
you give it something with wings? So
All right.
that it can. You're gonna put
Like a
wings on
hawk?
the puppy? Fine, guinea pig.
All right.
Flying guinea pig. He's gonna be turned into a flying guinea pig.
Before we go down this thing, like right before we go down,
Okay.
I am going to go to each one of my each one of these and go, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. I'm going to waste all of my inspirations
Got it.
before we go down.
Doubt it will take you longer than 10 minutes to get down here, so you guys each have an inspiration, which is a D8 for your descent down into this. You guys lash the carts together, set a
Except for
couple of the
Lahg
extra
doesn't
planks that are meant for, unloading.
the one that he would have had to stop him from biting me earlier.
The smith, you take a couple nails and put the planks together, nail the carts together, and lash them together. They are ready to go down this. Like you see some of those trains that are overpopulated where people just go on top of the train, like the roof of the train. That's what it looks like because there's that many people on top of these two carts. Some are like hanging onto the side.
Parachutes with our tents on the back.
And here's the deal: y'all are doing this on the connector between the two carts and the last cart, because the front cart is entirely occupied by the onkeg that's on top of it, that has its limbs like dug into the side of it and holding on to it.
Can like
We are
be
all
on the
gonna
front
die.
though, and like like the bow maidens basically being like,
Not really. It
Okay.
needs to have like a good purchase on this thing, or once it breaks, it's just gonna break itself, and the cart's just gonna keep
Oh my god, we're gonna TPK
I mean on the
without
front
an enemy.
side of the.
It is.
Okay.
It is a large piece.
Something. Come on.
Okay.
It's
okay.
bigger than a horse. It is.
Why I gave you all
This is.
information.
It's huge.
Let's go.
It is huge.
We
It is
fought
a
one of
big- Well,
those.
it's not huge. It's large, but it is a big creature. It takes up most of the cart.
Is there anything we can do for a parachute out the back to slow us down?
That's what the onkeg is.
I know.
Well-
just
In the
help it.
front, though.
In the back, like with tents.
The tents could
Do you
work.
guys want to switch spaces and have the onkeg in the back?
No, for us.
A rope
Is
and
there
a
a
tarp. as
we
like
have
a
all this
speed
rope.
Do
parachute.
you have? Oh,
We have
Do you
tents.
want to try to cannibalize one of your tents?
No, I have a tarp.
You have made of what?
Are you-
Canvas?
Yeah.
You really think?
Okay. I'm gonna roll a tinkering check. This is a
Come on,
dexterity
buddy.
tinkering
Guidance.
check.
You have inspiration too if you want to use it.
Still 16.
And the D4?
16.
You didn't use
Yeah,
your guidance.
you feel like
I would
Gave you guidance. Yeah.
you have. Here's what I'll say: you have fashioned an emergency brake parachute that is one-time use, and you don't know how long it's going to last.
30-20 with the guidance.
With the guidance, okay, emergency parachute. Never done this before.
Nope.
Emergency parachute. You don't know how effective it's going to be. It looks pretty sturdy to you, but you imagine that once you use it, after a certain amount of air is caught, it's going to just and just go.
Sure.
You're going to get left behind.
It's kind of like those
So
ones
mark
when they
off
dump that
the
high up.
tarp. Mark off the rope.
It's kind of like when they're coming back to Earth from outer space and they have like several parachutes that
yeah,
just straight break away. They're not even designed to-
Break. Yeah, because yep.
You're going too fast.
I could have the cock stand at the front and just try and hold it back as much as he can.
Completely run over immediately.
You're
Actually,
Magog
I just
has
like that.
1 hit point. It would
I-
just get
But
shattered.
he's still, he has 30
I
pounds
also
of
like
strength
how
rather
you're
than
putting
10.
his arms out this far, whereas Bagaki would be.
Well, that might help. That might, then it's
Bug.
just picking in his heels and
Oh, wait, you don't know about this, so I'll let you guys figure RP that if you want.
Log has an unseen servant, and I decided to cast Fairy Fire to see what the unseen
That's like the
servant
one
looked
time
like.
you did.
Yeah.
And it's a little chicken man.
So we named him
It's like
Bagok.
this eldritch monstrosity chicken man, okay? It's got like an old man face with like T-Rex arms and chicken lower half body that just says Bagok. And it's like that's how it does it.
So we just
Can
call
you
him
not
Bagok.
see Log summoning that?
It's just absolutely hideous.
Also, I used Fairy Fire to see it, and then
And it's like bald
Yeah,
chicken legs too. It's not feathered chicken legs. It's completely bald chicken legs.
literally on the stream, I dropped concentration. I should have done.
But like man-sized chicken legs. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
So
Let's go.
anything else?
Nope.
Okay. This is going to be a skill challenge for sure.
Let's have some fun. What do we
Okay.
do?
I mean, I can use my arms and Hadar to help stop us. That's about the most I got going.
Sanctuary? No.
I will be warged in Shakar as we are closest to the front as we can possibly be with the Yonkig there, just so that I can fucking see 120 feet.
He's going to stay on your shoulder.
Yeah, or on top of my head,
Okay.
where I normally have them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
At some point, wind resistance is just going to like fully take him off. But if you want him to like clamp down,
Yeah, he'll clamp
you
down.
want him to be on you, not fly down.
Yes.
Okay, you got it.
I'm gonna be ready with those arms to try and catch him.
Oh, Ivy's full dead Beeloy.
I know. She's really cute.
She's been laying here a lot.
Yeah,
I've been.
I'm gonna be up front on the off chance that I can stop us with a spell.
Okay, the Onkeg is on front.
Okay.
You can't. So you can't really. Do you want to try to
I'll be
mount the
behind.
Onkeg? So here's the deal. You and Trisheni can be right behind the Onkeg. Your vision is going to be, like, obscured because this thing flapping its massive wings sprawled out is in front of you. You'll be lucky if you can see things before they come to you. If you guys want to try to get closer and have a better vision of what is about to happen, you can attempt to, like they do on those like racing sailboats, hold on to the side and grab onto the side of the front cart and look.
Okay, I
Hold
was
on
gonna
like
see
that.
what if I rode on top of the front cart. But either way, yeah, I'm willing
front-
to actually do that.
So the Onkeg has 6 limbs. All right, all 6 of its limbs have it has its front claws clamped down to the front of the cart where people would be sitting. So that's occupied. And all the other 2 are like in the middle and on the back of that cart. The whole cart, the top is occupied.
So
and
like,
clamping onto it like a big
so
claw.
I literally were peeking out behind it from the back of the cart.
Yes, either
I'm
that.
totally willing to do that.
Okay, you could do that, or you can go to the side of the cart and like hang off of it so you can see much better.
That's actually what I'm trying.
Okay,
That's what I'm.
However, if you do so, should things happen,
Your ass
most likely going to have to make some
flying
dexterity
off.
saving throws. I get flung off.
Okay.
Okay,
I,
I'll be in the back with Zimdak just in case, so we can throw that emergency brake.
Okay, cool. Are you having Conk there with you too?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Conk can be in the way back to make sure weight is distributed properly.
Yep.
And he can also, if he needs to, like dig in and break. However, that's still going to be a strength check for him because it depends how much of a good grip he has on this thing because the backboard could just snap and the cart could just keep going. Okay. Here we go. Ermgrim's like,
Do I need an enhance ability on Conk?
I'm going to enhance ability the on-keg with strength.
Should I do Conk for the back?
If he needs to... No. I mean, you can. Yes.
It's not going to hurt anything.
No, it's not.
Okay.
So you handle the on-keg, I'll handle Conk.
Okay.
Since there is
I
the
will
full
handle
move
it.
said, then Moonchild can do her blink.
yes, it's true.
So I'm going to have her basically just blink her way down.
Oh, okay.
Just because she can
Just,
do 40
like,
speed. Yeah, so she's just going to blink at
So-
a safe distance to get down.
Cool. So I'll say, do you want her to just go now ahead of everybody, or do you want her to try to keep pace with you?
No, yeah, just keep pace with us just in case something does happen. She's not like getting smacked by it.
I think even if she do you want her to stay like try to run on the side? The next
I mean, she's
few
like either behind us, so she doesn't get like crushed by it if it goes out of control, or next to it.
I still think you guys are gonna be moving around like 100 to 200 feet per round. So even with the blink, I don't think she'll be able to keep up with you. But if you want her to, well, I mean, it's
gonna be safer for her to get down than anything else.
It's up to you. Do you want her to ride with you, ride behind you, or go ahead?
No, so she'll be behind us.
Okay, so she at some point the cart will absolutely outpace her, and she'll just be behind, but she will be safe.
We're gonna have to regather shit up once we're down there anyway.
Yeah. Here's the deal: if you guys if it weren't for the carts, you guys could essentially slowly but surely safely find your way down with not too much difficulty. You may slip every once in a while and slide and hurt yourself a little bit, but it wouldn't be that difficult, too hard. But the carts make it a lot more complicated.
Okay.
Because it's a lot of very heavy stuff on wheels. Great. Okay. Yeah, you just let me know at any time if you wanted to do something different. Just let me know. There'll be only a couple, if that, handful of times before then if you want her to stay with you. Okay.
I mean, you can just leave her on the cart, and if things go bad, have her blink off and follow.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll just do that then.
Like, if shit happens, have her just
Bail.
ditch. Yeah.
Granted, I mean, she'll come back no matter what.
Right, no matter
so
what
it
happens.
doesn't matter. But
But
yeah.
it's long rest, so.
That's why Cole's holding on at the side.
Okay. If nothing else, then
Let's go.
you guys latch the carts together, hammer some planks together that are used for loading and offloading to keep these things connected. It's a rush job, but it's the best you can do. You fashion you've got your little parachute that has, you pretty much have made it so that once you open this bag, you just kind of flip open one of the fabrics and it just catches the wind. Conk is grabbing on, weighting down the back so that it doesn't take off. He's acting as a weight spoiler pretty much. Cool. And the Ankeg and latches onto the front. And Ermgrim's hey, here we go, and just and slams into Conk, and the cart and just starts going down there, and you see the Ankeg wings go
Exactly.
and start to air brake. You need to roll a strength check for the Ankeg
With
at advantage.
Yep.
Remember, Wrigley, they got pretty high strength. I think it's like a +4 or something like that.
Okay, that is a 22.
Yeah.
You guys feel the beating of the wings. Cole, you're on one side, on the left side. Trisheni, you're behind the Ankeg. And so it's a little, Kiwampus, the weight is a little distributed weird, but you're just getting massive buffets of wind in your face, the whole time. There's so much, you didn't realize at first, but there's so much wind in your face that without goggles, you can't see shit. Like, there's just so much, but like every once in a while, you're like, okay, we're okay. There's so much tears. Yeah, very anime style with the tears going by. The Ankh did a really good job, and it was able to slow down the most descent. But it is, even with its massive wings, it can only keep up. It cannot keep up with gravity. It can only slow its own descent. It has so much weight behind it. It is the weight. The cart is still accelerating. However, at a much lesser rate. It's still accelerating. Cole, roll a perception check. Shani, roll a perception check.
17.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, both of you notice that there is the tunnel, like a good maybe 30 feet ahead, like very fast approaching, like in the next second or half a second. Probably maybe 30 to 60 feet. It's hard to tell. The top of it goes down about 15 feet.
Are we gonna hit it if we don't do anything?
The Ankh will be completely squished if it doesn't go flat.
I'll message to the to the handler of the Ankh.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's how it works.
Yeah, he has
Make it
the
duck.
bridles.
Yeah.
Okay, you message to him, make it duck. What do you do?
I shoot off a firebolt to try and
Light it up.
destroy some of the wall and create some space for us.
Okay, are you sure?
Caveman.
Yeah, because that's about the only option I have other than...
Okay.
My other option is...
That could cause debris to fall upon everyone in the car.
Joke to me, right?
Nope.
Well, here's the other option is to hold on and pray for dear life, and Cole's not that type of person.
Okay, you fire off a firebolt. Go ahead and roll an attack roll for me.
Not one!
Okay, you hit the Ankh instead with your fireball.
Firebolt.
Yeah, firebolt. Go ahead and roll damage for your firebolt.
Oh, that's bad.
Killing her.
Well, it's 2d10.
That's what I said.
We're all gonna die.
Oh, 10?
10 points of damage. I need you to roll me a... No, actually, I'm just going to roll it myself.
Cole has already proved that
Okay.
he thinks good
So you say,
good ideas.
get the, you said, get the Ankh to get down. And he's like, oh, and he like snaps the bridle and pulls it, or the reins. And you see the Ankh goes, and you, not knowing that the Ankh was about to make that jolty move, fire the fireball and just right in the fucking face of the Ankh, right in the mandible's jaw, and the Ankh just collapses on top of the cart.
Shit.
Fully, it doesn't seem dead. It just looks unconscious.
It's like stunned or unconscious
But it
for a
does
second.
go completely flat, and the cart goes right down, and goes right over, doesn't crush the Ankh or anything. The Ankh is, for the moment now, unresponsive, and you are accelerating at a very rapid rate.
Oh God. Do we know what's going on? Or can
You
we
just see, my baby!
just so that we can see
You
what's going on.
fully don't see the Ankh. The Ankh was a big thing, and you saw a flash of red fire, and then the Ankh just fall flat on top of the cart. And the cart is
I'm
behind you. It's not me doing something.
Not yet.
Okay.
okay, you guys are going
Actually,
very
the
fast
ram
now.
Get it back up! Get it back up! I yell at
He's
them.
like snapping the reins. Again.
Healing word back at the Ankh.
You're gonna heal the word. Okay. Well, first we have to move on to the next.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So you're.
I mean-
well, it's just bonus action.
Yeah, it is,
You
so
could
that would work.
Straight up do it. Yeah, you could just you fireball and you're like shit.
That's your healing word.
What's your healing word?
sorry.
What do you say? It's shit.
Shit.
Stings it.
Heal it. Yeah, perfect. Okay, tell me how much hit points.
Let me just double check, but I believe it's 9.
It's the most beautiful swear word.
Yeah, it's plus my spellcasting modifier. So 9 hit points back. To
9
this
hit
thing.
points. You see it and it's trying to come back together, to reorient itself. It will not be breaking this round. It's going to use this round to get
Figure
it
out
from
where the hell's
prone,
going
use its
on.
action to clamp back on, and then next round it can use its action to arrow break. But yes, it is back in the action. He's like, "Oh, my baby!" You just hear in the back, look, one of the humans is just like, "What did you do to my baby?"
Arm King is way more than 10 hit points. Good one.
Yeah, but it's
I know.
domesticated Ankeg, like, you know, in this, you didn't kill it. Like, it was just stunned from the scenario. So don't fucking meta me, god damn it.
You're the one making it
I'm
harder
not
than
really
it needs
metaing
to.
it.
Okay.
And we have fought them, so it's not meta.
I'm like, that wouldn't have hit.
I remember.
You know
even
how
if I
much
could
hit
see.
points that firebolt did? Argus knows? Okay, that's what I'm talking
Well,
about.
Argus knows how powerful that fire felt.
Okay. Moving on. I'll
You
need.
can feel it through your hammer, right?
I'm gonna
Blast
need.
me with the
Who's in the way back? We have Zemdak and Eliezer, right? I need you to roll perception checks. One.
Oh, you're just going.
23.
23. 12? Okay, 23. Eliezer, you are too distracted by this comedic thing that's happening. It's like funny, but it's also very, very scary because you're like, oh my god, we're gonna die! We're gonna die? We're gonna die! But you, Zemdak, hear like tremors and rumbling in the ground.
Let's catch word.
And then you see, it's weird, like you could see, due to Eleazar's light, you could see the ground, but then you could only, you could see the ground for 60 feet in a radius, right? But then you can only see the ground for 50 feet, and then only 40 feet, and then only 30 feet. And then you realize it's not that the light is waning, it's that the ground is not there. You see that the ground of this ramp, this slope that's going down, is falling through like a pitfall, and it's falling like you're trying to outrun this fall as the tunnel is like the bottom of the tunnel is completely
Cool. Let it
falling
speed
out
up.
under-
Go faster, faster.
Yeah, y'all need to go faster. Must go faster. Must go faster. So you say that. What are y'all doing?
Are we seeing what this is?
You heard what Zemdak said.
We're already going faster because the Ancake's not breaking us. So just
Yeah.
You need to go even faster.
Even faster.
Bad ideas going through my head. That's not gonna work.
What, like jet engines?
Well, like, throw a couple of the saltpeter off and blow them up.
I mean, actually, there's a part of me that's tempted to like throw like a chaos bolt behind us and see if I can create an explosion.
Pulse wave. I'm gonna have it push like all the creatures forward, basically. Like put it.
Oh,
because
so
I
you
can
throw
push.
a pulse wave in front and you
No,
like.
well, I can push or pull. So
Oh, okay, I get it. So you
Yeah.
just
Jet
kind of like
engine.
grab it. You just
Yeah.
you create a pulse wave like a gravity wave and so you can ride it down further.
Yeah.
Awesome, cool. Mark off the spell.
Cool.
It just happens like
Okay.
because there's no
there,
it's just a gravity wave and the cart's just gonna feel a gravity.
I mean, yeah,
got it.
there is technically a save, but if
Hold
you're
it onto
okay
the
with
side, do I need to dex check that with the bounce?
Absolutely, you do. Yeah, dexterity saving throw for you.
if he falls off, I'm letting him roll.
18.
18, you're good. Ermgrim, however, as this pulse starts to hit, and you see him slow motion falling into the pit behind you as he gets kicked off of the end of the.
Was he front wagon?
No, he was the way back with you guys. Remember, he rammed into the back to push the thing down, then he topped on the back.
Oh, okay. I try to grab him.
You want to try to grab him?
Yeah.
Okay, go roll a dexterity check.
Use the rope. Use the rope to grab him.
Well, I mean, it's limp. He's
No, we have that magic rope.
oh.
9.
9. You reach out as he continues to fall down.
Somebody use the rope.
I have the rope of climbing, so I throw it after him.
Did you use an action yet?
No.
You haven't. Okay. And can you command it
perception
to
check.
wrap around
Yes,
somebody?
you can.
Okay,
You
cool.
can wrap it. You can command it to wrap around an object.
So you can say
Ermgrim
his
is not an
belt.
object, he's a creature.
You can say his belt.
Yeah.
Hammer.
Does it say object that's not being not worn or carried?
Yeah, I have to find it. Let me create rope of climbing.
These dice are...
You can command it to 10 feet away on each of your turns until it reaches destination. You can just command it to move towards a destination of your choosing, is what you have on written.
All right,
here.
that's fine. Yeah, you can just you just say Armgrim, and you throw the rope, and it goes like it wraps him, and
It
then
moves forward at 10 feet per.
I mean, he's only 5 feet away from you in this split second. Both Eleazar reaches out and Zemdak reach out at the same time. Zemdak throws the rope, and it wraps around Ermgrim. And now Ermgrim, like, once it goes taut, like, puts all 4 of his limbs out, and it's kind of like a kite in the back.
I hand the other end of the rope to Eliezer.
And you pull him in, he's like, and grabs on, he's like, thank you, laddie.
Just hang on.
Okay, cool. Next round. Okay, complication.
Of course there is.
It wasn't already?
There couldn't not
Argus,
be a complication.
you see on the right side of the cart, one of the backs, the front right reel, it's shaking something fierce. Like it is coming off the axle.
Yeah, Zemdak.
He just takes that back and puts back the wheel.
Mending takes like a minute to catch.
Takes a minute to catch. Yeah. So it doesn't look like the wheel is broken. It looks like it's coming off of the axle. It's like wobbling off of the axle.
And that's in the front or the back?
It's the back cart, the front
Is it
right.
where I am?
back.
Okay.
Yeah, you could reach over to it. Yeah.
Can I try to hammer it back in?
Sure. Pull your blacksmith and go.
Get back in there.
Pull like 180.
Actually, knowing him, it would be, at this point, it would be the hammer of Kosuth.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the blacksmith hammer. Yeah. The Kosu hammer. That's the blacksmith hammer.
It's a
Yeah, go ahead and roll a strength check for me. I'm gonna say plus your proficiency
Okay.
because you're using a smithing hammer.
12.
12. You hit nothing but wood on one of the what do they call the spokes? You hit the spoke and crack one of the spokes. And you're like, oops. You can try it again if you want.
I'll try it again.
Okay, this is the last time you can try it.
That was worse. By 1. It was 11.
11. You hit one of the.
Not allowed to do that.
you hit it again. Like you hit the center more, but you hit the wood part rather than the metal part. That's like that attaches to the axle. So you just hear 2 hits of wood splintering, and you're like,
The wheel's broken.
you can't really tell what it is that you did. All you know is that you didn't do the right thing because it's moving so fast. You can't really tell. Yeah, the wheel is broken. Like it is. Like at the end of this round, it for sure will fly off. Argus said the wheel is broken. Anybody else doing anything about it?
What? Either I missed it or no one ever said. Where am I on?
I think you're. I think you're probably like in the middle of the back cart because everybody's on the back cart. So you probably, I assume, you can be whatever you want to be. Really, I think the back end's pretty crowded right now because we have Eleazar, Zemdak, Konk, and Ermgren. In the front we have Trisheni, and Cole. You're on the side of the front. So,
Yeah.
So if you wanted to be in the front, the middle is mostly occupied by the crew.
I'm trying to see if I am anywhere that I could do anything. Not that I think I have.
I mean, you can hang off the side like I'm doing.
You can, scramble across people if you want to try to do that too, to get into a position where you can see something. Like, I mean, you still have your movement. Yeah.
I just don't
Can
have
I-
anything that would actually.
Can I
help.
mage hand and keep the wheel on there?
With 10 pounds of pressure?
Yes.
Well, I can add
As long
another
as
10 pounds.
Yeah.
You want to do that? Okay.
You do one side, I do the other.
So
Okay.
here's the deal. So you guys can MacGyver hold the wheel together with 2 mage hands. Here's the deal. That is concentration, right?
No,
No.
it's
not
not.
concentration, but
Mage hand is not
6
concentration.
seconds.
It's not.
But
it lasts.
A minute.
hand doesn't move with us.
I mean,
No,
if it's,
it remains relative to the
If
cast.
we're
Yeah,
controlling
it
it.
does.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we're controlling its movement.
You control it with your own brain. So
Yeah, but it can only move a certain amount of feet.
Yeah, but it's not like if you cast it
For
when
me,
you're on an
it
airship, you
No,
don't go,
actually,
"Whoa." It does not
Actually,
help.
it's not that. That the only specification 4 feet away in the spell is if the hand is 30 feet away from you, it disappears. So if you're holding it down while it's moving,
You know,
it will
it
stay
stays
with
relative to the location the caster wants it to be from the caster. So yeah, here's what I'll say. You absolutely can do that. I want both of you to roll spellcasting checks for me. Just real quick. You are going to have to use your action at every successive turn to keep
keep
this
it on.
wheel
All right.
on. Because that's something that, like, yeah.
I love it. I love how the blind
you
were
get?
the two people in front.
18?
21.
Yeah, you guys,
Well, I'm not blind. I'm
you literally go hands in on this wheel and push the wheel, and it feels like it stops wobbling. But you can still, it's not
I had my belt on the whole time.
fully on the axle yet, but it's keeping it there. Like, you're acting like if the hand isn't taking damage in this thing, if it could take friction damage, they would poof. But they don't take friction damage, so it's fun.
I just have the song like playing in the background of Ghost, like the whole. It's just a wheel.
What is that song?
I don't know.
not important.
It's not important, but yeah.
Oh, my darling.
Yeah.
It's long hands slow motion goes
Holding
it together.
just sheer terror.
Before I hit it with a hammer.
That was on you. That's kind of like she
So this thing
messaged
is-
the thing to duck when I went.
Feel like a rocket speeding down here. Okay, that is the complication for this round.
Does the collapse slow down?
You have outrun the collapse for the moment. It did slow down to the point where it eventually just...
Okay, so just a question: are we going back on the upswing of this kind? of
Not yet.
thing? Oh shit!
Not yet. This is all happening very, very fast.
No. I was just trying to see where we were in that kind of situation.
Cool.
Anke, go!
Ankeg does grab on, air brake. It starts to do it. The acceleration slows down a little bit. You're still going very, very fast. Cole, you feel a little weird, like your equilibrium is off a little bit. And then you feel the wind shift from blowing you here to blowing you here. And you're like, what? As you start to notice that the cart is no longer going straight down the tunnel, but is drifting. Could it go a little bit more at like a 20-degree angle down the tunnel?
It's nothing to do with the wheel. I swear.
And the wheel is like...
Cole's gonna look straight at the guy who's controlling the thing. Link with him.
Okay.
And yeah, straight.
So, to his eternal credit, there's only so much the Ankeg can do to try to straighten this thing.
Yeah.
But he will do his best. I'll roll an animal handling check. You see the Ankeg...
There's only so much I can do too.
You see the Ankeg shift slightly. It's all what that did is stop the moment from getting worse. Like, it's stopped now at this like 15-20 degree angle. But it's still, you're still now like straight up like Tokyo drifting down this.
Do the rest of us notice?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
sure, yeah.
I'm gonna
As
tell-
like Cole screaming, straight, go straight. Oh wait, no, you did it telepathically.
Yeah,
but,
I did.
Yeah,
'cause I
y'all-
wanted to make sure he heard me.
you realize it like at the point that it's too late, where like, well, not too late, but you realize at the point where it's gotten the worst, and you're like, we're not going straight down anymore because gravity feels weird.
Conk's gonna throw a foot down.
Oh,
Try to like steer it back.
right, like a paddle in a canoe to
Yeah.
try to like
And a
break it.
rudder.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll either a strength check or a dexterity saving throw.
How far are we down?
Athletics or just straight strength?
No, this is straight strength because he's not running, jumping, or climbing trees.
How far down are we the tunnel at this point?
You don't know. You can't see the bottom.
So
Which means that
Long.
he passed 40 feet.
And does he get a +2 since he's near me?
no.
No, since
I'm
I'm
Is
only
it dexterity saving throw or strength check?
Shakar,
Strength
my light spell.
But
Okay,
Shakar
what'd you
can
get?
be 120 feet.
Plus 7.
I'm
so
more than Shakar.
18.
Fuck.
18. Okay,
Then
you
I-
hear
No bottom of the.
Yeah.
as Kong digs his heel into the
We're
ground,
gonna
and
die
you see
of our own stupidity here.
and so- he lifts a little bit. The wheel that was loose with you three while looking at it, that was going because it was going at a 20-degree angle, and it's just like something getting caught sideways that just like blah blah blah, and because it isn't rolling anymore, it's just hitting almost full broadside. Eventually goes da 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 da. Starts rolling again.
I would have moved my light spell back to my belt as we started going, so I could see because I would have been blind. But
Sure, yeah, you can do that. It does straighten it quite a bit. You are still going at about like 5 degrees off. You do realize that if you continue at this angle for any length of time, one of the left frontmost wheels could catch the side of the tunnel and completely turn this thing over. But at the moment, you're okay. Next round, last complication.
Right.
You see in front of you, half of the tunnel is just completely solid.
It's completely what?
Solid stone. Like there was a cave in on the half since you guys started going down. There is only enough room for maybe.
I'm gonna stone shape and make it a hinge so that it pops up.
Well, but it's thicker than it like goes for like 20, 30 feet.
Okay.
Well, not that you know that, but you can attempt to do that. You can like try to stone shape it out of the way. Okay. But I hear what you're saying. Your intention is to stone shape it with the spell to try to not it be an obstacle.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Can I combine that with the pulse wave? I know I'll lose the turn for the mage hand, but can I combine your powers with mine for the pulse wave to?
I would be shooting.
Absolutely, you can do that.
Panicking, I would be shooting like fire bolts or I would probably shoot chaos bolt at it at that point.
Okay, you guys are all trying to like do damage to this thing so that it gets out of the way,
Push
right?
out of the way.
Okay, cool. Here's what I'm gonna do. You let go of Mage Hand to cast Pulse Wave. I'm gonna roll a Constitution saving throw for the wheel.
I still got my mage hand.
I know you do. Thanks for DC. Okay, it just made it with a 15. It just made it. So that wheel is looking rough, but it is still there. You Pulse Wave, you Stone Shape. Anybody else doing anything?
I'm casting chaos bolt at the cave-in, trying to like create more
Okay,
space.
it is on the opposite side of the Ankeg. It does have partial cover from you.
Okay, so it's not the side I'm on.
No, it's on the other side. Yeah.
I'm still gonna try.
Okay.
I'll have Cog throw his foot down on that side so that it tries to swing us out.
Oh, like
the other
go
side.
on 2 wheels?
No, I mean like so if we're drifting one way, like I'll have him try and swing us.
That's what he's saying. You
Okay,
come up on 2 wheels
Yeah.
and try and like
So
get
here's
out
the
of
deal.
it.
Okay, I understand what you're trying to say. Like, yeah, you're trying to
Steer us
drift
to
them-
the far side of the tunnel.
Right. So you're actually already kind of because the way you were
okay.
going down the tunnel was
TJ?
this way. Yes, the
I
blocking.
can't stone shape. It's touch.
You want to try to slap it as you run by?
No, I said I can't really stone shape. That wouldn't work too well.
Well,
He's in the
so
second
here's the deal.
part. He's not in the first one.
Do you want to try to run on like a moving train on the front and like push past the Ankeg and slap this
still
thing?
have inspiration
front?
if you want to try to do that.
Be careful, that's TJ talking.
No, fuck yes, I do.
As you run
Great results by saying, you know what? Fuck
very
you,
through the
TJ.
fire flame. Ding, 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 ding.
It's like
As
when your
Argent
hand
gets up.
pulled Lahg's ass out of the fire. that
You
one
said a deck save?
Yeah.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Yeah.
Is he near me at all?
He's running past you, but he won't be within 10 feet of you. But that's okay. Yeah, you could get the +2.
No, 19.
19. Okay. You almost completely lose your footing. But Eleazar just like slaps you on the butt to keep your or just like slaps you on the back to keep your balance and like kind of pushes you forward so you don't completely fall over as you're running past him. And then you full on like baseball slide under the Ankeg and like whip around, slap the wall as it's happening, and you don't even notice. But coming over the top of the Ankeg, looking down at you, going like, is Ermgrim with his plasma blade, like leaping over the Ankeg, just fully in the air, his arm extended and looking at you like in slow motion as the plasma blade just through the rock as you slap the stone shape, allowing him to have space to like cut a bunch of the rock away as it just as part of the and then time kicks back in as the cart hits this rock, but now it's super loose from your stone shape
And the pulse
pulse
wave pushes
wave
away.
and her
Chaos
cutting it
ball.
and the chaos ball does all these things, hit it and loosening all the rock, and so there's a big portion of the side that just skids up against the rock and all this crumbles. The force of the I'm gonna roll Constitution saving throw for the okay. The front cart, the front right corner of the cart shatters. One of the saltpeter barrels just sprays out. But the cart does force its way through the rest of it as you guys are all pushing it through. The cart is intact mostly, and you see now after this, it starts to level out as the front is completely missing the front right wheel, the front corner, one of the barrels.
I rolled a 7 and a 2 on my chaos bolt, so 2 is cold. I'm actually cooling the hallway as we pass through it.
Awesome to prevent from friction burn.
That's why I'm telling you this.
Amazing. Yes, because that would have absolutely ignited with this plasma blade and everything. Absolutely would have ignited the now dust saltpeter. Great. You move down here.
Parachute.
You ignite. You
Conch
release
break.
the conch break and the parachute. Eventually, you find yourself at like a trap, like a drain trap kind of thing, where it's the spot right below, like an uphill and a downhill incline. The front of cart is dipped. One of the large barrels is completely gone past there, but most of the carts are mostly intact. You feel like possibly with some of the extra wood you could fashion a new wheel and keep going. You made an amazing amount of time with this. You do gain a day, so you will be there now in one day. But you're going to have to, so here's the deal. Repairs, depending on how well you guys do with repairs, could take a whole day.
Which is fine, because we gained them several days.
Eventually, after everybody recovers from the shock, everybody all right?
That was bloody awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome!
You ruined my product. You lost me a battle.
We gained you a day.
I also gained you a story
You know how
for
much
the
overhead
college.
that's going to cost us?
We are also a story for the college.
How much?
Well, that's not them putting money in my pirates.
It is when you tell the stories at taverns.
I'm not the storytelling type, and I had a contract to deliver this many barrels of saltpeter.
Do we hear a barrel rolling down after us?
No,
Not a barrel. You see like small pieces of metal and wood and shards that are covered in dust of saltpeter that kind of like
It added
Working their way
The only
down.
reason we weren't on
Yeah, it
fire is 'cause
completely- it hit it at such a velocity, it's just gone.
we can get you most of that barrel back if there's some that does in the hallway. We've got to repair this anyway. We can take a day and take some time.
He's livid. You lost him like 100 pounds of saltpeter. He's like got all red face and like
And who is the saltpeter going to?
it's a government contract. It goes to Fulmore Bed. The triumvirate. You know what happens when you don't deliver on a contract for the triumvirate?
Yes.
I mean, you were going down the Triway. You didn't take on any extra as insurance?
You were the extra as insurance.
So wait, if you show up with, so even if you had showed up going the Triway with one less barrel because of whatever happened, you'd still be in trouble.
Of course.
So that's on you then. That's the cost of doing business.
I hired you to make sure this wouldn't happen.
And you didn't lose all of it, right? So we
So
will do what we can to pick it up. But
That could have been a lot worse.
So what would have happened if
stomps
a
off
purple worm had
furious.
come through and destroyed your cart.
How much does this barrel cost? Can you get more at Steelcraig?
I don't know if there's a saltpeter mine in Steel Craig. That's not my job. My job is to transport safely. Look,
I'm trying to say, hey, you can get your saltpeter that you're missing at Steercraig before you get to Thermal Bed. They won't know any better. You have way more time available for you to negotiate and find this extra amount of money.
Well, and all you have to tell Steelcrag is something happened along the road, and all you lost was one barrel, as opposed to the whole shipment.
both of you roll persuasion checks.
Thank you.
All right, I'm trained in it.
Fuck you.
Well, here's the thing. You know how traveling caravans work, and you are good with talking to people. So it makes sense.
Well, and I was trained as a merchant, too. Been trained as a merchant,
14.
so...
14? Okay.
I rolled a 10 for something I was
29.
29! You see this guy?
I mean, we gained you like 2 weeks worth of travel.
You can find somebody for me to buy saltpeter at Steel Craig for a reasonable price. Fine.
If the government doesn't understand that shit happens on transporting, and you're lucky that you only lost one barrel, that's on them.
Of course they understand, but usually if the problem happens, the whole shipment's never heard of.
Right. So, showing up with one barrel when something happened is not a bad thing, because they still get...
With the
It
amount of,
means we
90%
didn't give.
of it.
It also means that we didn't protect the shipment with our
with
lives.
the amount of worm activity of recent,
Wait. So they're going to be
Whatever
upset
you can
that you show up
I'm
a
already-
week early
I'm already
with
off the
one
side.
barrel
There you
less.
Please, thank you.
Cole's going to bring up. So they're going to be upset that you show up a week early with one barrel less.
That point. That will give us enough time to probably make up losses in Steel Craig.
Mending and
You just see him walk up to Erngrim because, like, he just looks at him. He spits on the floor and goes by and starts to collect some of the barrel that he thinks he could find.
somebody prestidigitated dick on his face.
I will do that, actually. Because I wanted to punch it, so
Can I-
you have a much better option.
can I recover the parachute?
Right, because it happened at the end. Okay, here's the deal. Given enough time, you can. The canvas is torn from wind shear.
So it's in pieces.
Yeah, I mean, you could mend it back together.
Yeah.
Cool. Given some of the extra wood that you have for offloading and onloading and mending, and having an artificer and a smith on your, I could say, give you guys an hour. You could make a new wheel and repair the old wheel.
You don't think they have anyone that would be helpful too?
Oh yeah, no, they can too. It's just you're better.
Okay.
You absolutely are. Like you are much more highly trained in this than they are. You guys are heroes. I mean, come on.
I can do it with magic, where they would need actual tools to do it.
Literally, going either way, if they didn't report back in, it would have been the whole shipment lost. Whereas with us going through, they're going to show up a week early.
Right.
One loss.
His point is, if he didn't make it, he didn't have to worry about the consequences. Now
Right.
he's got to worry about the consequences.
Now he's got to get chewed out. And
Of being a barrel
off the
short.
job. Yeah. Being a barrel short's almost worse than giving your life.
Well,
for-
although it kind of balances out.
Depends.
Like a week and a half early and a barrel short.
Well, yeah, it depends on who's the contract with. If it's with Talkman,
which is
yeah, I
why
can
that even
understand
worked.
it,
You were
but-
like, okay, that gives me a time to
somebody
recoup
else.
losses,
Right.
possibly.
You might be able to find what you need. Before I even get there, no one's going to know.
The hardest part for him was that you promised we're going to get you there completely safely and like a week and a half early.
we were hired on to keep it safe,
Well, no, and
Not
and that's
to-
exactly what we are doing.
not to
You
safeguard his material.
Well, yeah, we were supposed to be the main muscle. We were the extra.
okay.
We were
It's
hired
the
to
same
get the
thing.
caravan there safe, not to get the full order there safe.
That's semantics, and I will not.
Absolutely. Is he still alive? That was our job.
You were hired to protect the caravan. That means
Which-
the
they're still
material
alive,
and the
right?
individual.
Which we did.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. After about an hour of repairs, the thing is ready to go again. You guys are not done with today's travel, but far from it. But you guys have a huge head start on it.
I love that. We are not done with the day's travel.
After the hour of repair, the horse transforms back into a horse like all four limbs out, like very cartoon like. What the fuck was I just? And eventually you are able to hitch the Ankeg and the horse back together and pull it back up after it's not too much of an up. And so here's the interesting thing that you figure out. The veil between the planes of the Underdark and the material plane, whether they be underground or whatever, aren't always at the same depth. It's not a uniform. It's not uniform.
So it followed us down.
Not necessarily. It's just that it's not a uniform depth throughout, meaning that it's not just like a candy coating on a shell.
Right.
It could be, a variation of thousands of feet from one location to another. So
it's more like how the mantle and the crust form instead of more like how the jawbreaker.
Perhaps even more so. Like perhaps even with even more variation, because magic and weird planar magics are in effect. So there you could be at a depth of, I don't know, 5,000 feet and still be in the material plane in one place, or you could be a depth at 5,000 feet in another place and be a good 3,000 feet already into the Underdark. It's not uniform all the way throughout. It's kind of like jaggy and weird. It's weird because space is wiggly wobbly and whatever. So when you go over up the hill, this next lurch, this next dune, if I would say, you do find the wave between the planes again. You are able to ride it again. And Erngrim's like, that's why we let down. Yep, I can feel it. I can feel it. Right here. Right here. Right here. Right here on my back. Right here.
Can I look for any cool rocks?
Sure, you can look for cool rocks.
19.
19. Okay. You find some cool rocks. You find a couple geodes of like amethyst quartz.
Okay.
Nothing too valuable.
I just want rocks from this barrier area. I got an idea.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you grab a couple cool geodes. Cool. Okay. So you continue for the rest of the day with most of your travel. It is quite mundane. A couple people are scared, and you did notice that after the trip down, quite a few people were in shock, and there was upchucking of breakfast. But eventually, after some snacking, the horse and the Ankeg are able to lead you until your trek is done for the day. You essentially, given the repairs that you have done, I just want you to do me a favor. I want you to roll a tinkering check for me. Just dexterity tinkering check, and I want you to roll a smithing check.
9.
21.
21. Okay. Those kind of balance out to an even average. The repairs you did were good enough for this to finish its travel for the day. You most likely might have to spend some time again tomorrow morning to work on it.
Yeah.
If you don't do well, it might slow you down and give you an extra.
I mean, I've been riding on conch this whole time, so I can even probably spend some time before sleep. I'm still rested, so
Right. Yeah.
I can shore some things up.
Sure. Argus, this wheel is your enemy. You tried to fix it twice. It didn't work. And the third time, you're just like, every time you try to hit it with the hammer, your hammer just goes astray. And you just don't understand why. You're like, it's almost like a force is compelling you to not hit it. You don't understand. You can't get it, and it's frustrating. And Ergrim's like, hey, you doing all right over there?
Oh, sure, fine. Why don't you hit it?
It's not my job.
What is your job?
Navigator.
That's your heel, by the way. With the,
Okay.
if you want it.
I mean, he got us this far in 2 days, but it was supposed to take us 12. So
Honey, Ivy.
I'm gonna give him the props that he deserves.
Honestly, it's not my job either.
I got it. Just you
Great. You
go
guys.
lay down.
If nothing else, then you guys rest.
Are we doing a short rest, long rest?
Oh no, you finished your
It's the end
travel
of the
for
day.
Oh, okay.
You have
cool,
one
cool,
more
cool.
day of travel before you could get there, because you found
sorry,
you
just-
found another like
Rest up.
veil between the two planes where you kind of like riding that wave.
Okay.
Picture shiny. Look, I found a cool rock.
Excellent. Can I stuff that in my bag?
Can I work the balls again?
Can you work the balls again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say you could do it today. Yeah.
Could I also work on the PP spell?
Yes, you can work on the PP.
Great.
Before you do that,
Okay. How do you do that good better spell? Do you take like a piece of fruit and like infuse it with your magic, or do you just?
Well, you do. First, you think about the seed of the thought that you want, and then you turn that and you think about how juicy it could be, and then it kind of materializes from nothing.
Interesting.
Yep.
All the power of her brain.
Dull in the mind.
She wills it to be real, and it's real.
Interesting.
I mean,
I'm
like,
gonna take after having that talk with Trishini, I'm going to take another shot at my spell.
and I'll. I mean, I can show you at least the scroll too, so you can kind of see it
Yeah.
if it helps you at all.
What'd you get?
14 for.
Arcana. Yeah. Go ahead and roll your charisma check
What a success or.
for PP.
Yes, that's right.
10.
10. You're starting to get the idea of like, oh, okay. It's not that you're making progress. It's that you're understanding. Oh, this is how I'm going to learn how to do this. And you're realizing, shit, or not shit. Or you're like, oh, okay, I see now. This is a little more alchemical than I previously thought. I'm going to need somebody who knows what they're talking about when it comes to alchemy.
I need to look for a new book.
Either a new book or one of your comrades that knows a little bit about alchemy. Great.
Yeah, literally.
Zemdek has the potential to.
He learned some alchemical shit from.
He can be proficient in any kit at the end of a long rest.
Well, what he learned from Mildana.
Yeah, right. He did. That's true. He did learn like some beginners reagent stuff. Okay, if nothing else, then you guys take a rest.
I was going to send to Aelin.
Okay.
Are you all right? Checking in for Panua. Hopefully Pumpkin didn't kill anyone.
This is new.
I've sent to her before.
Yeah, yes.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, and she's like, yes, I hope my mother's doing all right. Hope you are doing well. What's his name again?
Tonkin.
Tonkin's been asking after you.
Hasn't shot anyone yet.
I like how TJ is thinking about that.
It's her. She's thinking about it. Tell her I love her deeply.
So if Tonkin's killed somebody, nobody knows yet.
She appears to be fine.
So I'll tell Panua that I just messaged Aelin. He misses you dearly, and she's doing all right.
See, she slowly grabs like the locket around her neck and grips it tight. Just nods at you and turns away so you don't see her cry.
Nothing about Rondo either, so
Shucks.
all must be well. Back in
I
South
could always message Rhonda and say that you miss it.
Okay, if nothing else, then you guys rest this evening. What's up?
I will definitely cast Intellect Fortress.
Of
on
course,
my
again.
bed.
Yeah, as long as you have the spell slots. Yeah, but do tell me every time. Yes.
Yeah.
Good berries all around. Everybody gets another round for the
You
next
got
turn.
it. Okay. Keeping the same thing for the butt group and the front group. Butt and front group.
Yep.
Front butt. Okay. Go ahead and do your thing.
Er, 13.
Uh-oh, I heard.
Yeah.
That's really daylight.
I'm too far away for.
It's been 2 days.
Yeah.
Because he's in the front group, you're in the butt group.
No, I'm
or
in the
the other
back
way
group.
around.
Yeah.
You're the butt group, you're in the front group, yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be a 10,
A 10
which I think is just.
just succeeds?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I have it written down.
Perception checks though.
That's
So
what,
Moonchild.
Yes, we're doing just front group and butt group. So just let me
This
know.
isn't for your moon. This is for perception for
Yeah,
Moonchild.
roll perception for Moonchild, and someone roll perception for Shikar.
that's her.
I already.
That was the
Perception.
13.
I'm sorry, that was the.
Yeah.
That's what
Oh,
you
okay, I'm
told
sorry. Okay,
So we're saying this
yeah,
was
nothing.
Perception
Nope.
checks.
Okay.
not the moon.
Yeah, that's
No,
perception.
no.
Not
This
your
isn't
sleeping.
dream. This
Okay.
is the watch for Moonchild while you guys are sleeping.
Did you roll
Well, so-
with advantage?
Well, but she has
Yeah.
advantage. Moonchild has advantage anyway.
Yeah.
And so it's actually the exact same. It's still a 10.
Oh, okay.
Because she has a +3 to her perception. So,
Cool.
okay.
You got it.
So it's still 10.
Great. They Moonchild again is just like after about an hour she gets bored, she curls up with you. Or they get bored.
I'm using her, right?
Yeah, that's fine. It's your thing. You can do whatever you want. Cool. Okay. You end up back in that in-between space.
Do I have to roll first?
He hasn't rolled yet.
Yeah, it's a roll for his yet.
That was your wisdom saving throw.
No,
wasn't
it was
it?
That was confusion.
That was
but that was the perception.
for
Okay.
Moonchild.
Go ahead and
So-
roll the wisdom saving throw.
It was either one or the other. So
Oh, did you add the wisdom saving throw to it, or no? If they have the same modifier.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Sweet. 7.
that's definitely
That's
it.
a
That's on you at that point, man. I do what I can, but
Well, wait. I don't have an end or inspiration.
no, you do. You have inspiration.
not
die
for
because
lasts for 10 minutes.
oh yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I did it before we went down the ride.
Yeah,
Like, I
it
helped
lasts
during
for
the
10
ride.
minutes. So here's the deal.
If we did like a rest after that, I inspire you again. So
You fall into a deep, deep, deep. You find yourself coming to a foggy awareness within a surroundings you're not entirely familiar with. And they, pardon me for saying this, but they defy explanation because they defy order and they even defy chaos because even chaos has a definition. They make no sense whatsoever. These walls that are no longer walls, that then become air, that are not air, but things of creatures moving, of many tentacles and squishy bits and eyes and teeth that just move, and then two-dimensional things become three-dimensional, becomes four-dimensional, which then pass through slits and cuts in space itself that go through and then come out. It makes no sense as far as the way you understand the world or physicality of universe. It's maddening. And it is but of a glimpse of just one part of your vision that this is here, and it's almost as if it's spiraling out from one part of your vision, and it's so dominating of that part of the vision that it feels like it surrounds you, but you're keenly aware that it is but a pinprick. And even so, it is pure madness. You feel that same feeling of insanity that you felt when you were in proximity to the creature that came through the book. You feel this hook of claw and tooth and nail that is grabbing not at your flesh or your skin, but your mind, and just drag down to the depths of insanity and madness as you feel yourself being lost and drowning. And before you know it, you're like collapsed on the floor, your wrist in one side, your knees, your legs behind you, your eyes just pulsing out of your head. Not entirely sure. It's kind of like if you analogous to the feeling when you're on a really bad trip and you're too high and you're trying to get out of it, but you just can't. It feels like that, and it's pure madness. And the only thing you want is for it to end. There is a tiny solace in this. There is a bit of a halo around whatever this pinprick is that appears to be made of some luminous moonlight, something, the tiniest bit of warmth, of welcoming presence that appears to be the thinnest of film around this pinprick, almost protecting it from you. And you realize if there is this veil that's between whatever this is and me, and I still feel this way, I truly, physically, through the comprehension of my mind, could not imagine what it would feel like without protection. The sense you're getting from this pinprick is inevitability. Impending doom. But not necessarily doom. Impending inevitability is really the sense you're getting of just fear the nothing, if that makes anything. Except it's not fear the nothing, it's fear pure madness, but it can't be madness because madness is a word that has a definition, and this defies definition. Whatever this is, they're just veils of absolute, utter nonsense. Time has no meaning. You look down and your fingers are shriveled and wrinkled as if you've grown 80 years. You feel the scars of your face where you have dug your bugbear claws in and that you just remember now tried to almost pull the cheeks from your skin at 50 years ago while you've been in this place, almost as if you've been here for hundreds of years. You feel this absolute distraught hopelessness. And then you die. And then your head breaks the surface of this inky black liquid. And you breathe and you leave again and you live it over again and again and again and again until you completely dissociate. You, at some point, give in. And you let this madness enter you. You let this madness have whatever pull or influence it wants upon you. You let it. But the film, or whatever that barrier is, refuses to. As much as you're like, come on, just let it through. I've had enough, just let it through. It's like, no, I won't. But as you give in more, the madness starts to form over the course of years and years and years. This voice or this method of communication, you just hear, brother, welcome, brother. Escape, brother. Traitor. Free. And then once you give in to those sounds, you find space warp again, and you see the truth that this pinprick was not just a pinprick, but it was around you this whole time. And you find yourself yet again in a sea of eyes, a sea of flesh and eyes around you, the sepulcher, or the pedestal, the lectern before you with the book upon it. As it flips page back and forth until finally opens on another. The ink on it draws slowly as an eye opens up in crosshatch ink form and then just looks at you. It's all the way at the edge of its periphery, its pupil focused on you. It blinks. The brow comes down. It adjusts. It just stares at you, almost as if it was like a mother being... Oh, how cute. The eye then moves in this crosshatch ink design across the page to the other side. It looks up the corner. It looks up into what appears to be nothingness. But then this squid-like, bat-like, beaked mouth, tentacles coming out here, manta ray style thing with 5 to 10 tentacles coming out its back, floating through the black, inky nothingness that would be the sky, but it's all uniform. It's all just midnight black. Flies through, over the book, causes several of the pages to come out. And as it does, the fin and a bunch of the tentacles goes in between your vision and the book, and the entire horizon has changed. There's no longer this black, inky scenery, but now there are stars that fill the sky and the upper echelons of your vision, floating massive nautilus shells that just move through the sky. Large portions of what looks like uneven pieces of rock and spire, of pieces of tops of mountaintops that looks like they've been cut off and then broken apart, that just float and spin way off, hundreds of miles off in the distance. The sea before you that you stand on is still made of flesh and eyes. It blinks and looks at you, just kind of almost lovingly wraps a tentacle around your shin and then your thigh. Just kind of gives you a squeeze of, I'm here. I'm here for you. You are here for me. And then you hear this massive like sonic boom, and you look behind you and you see something as if this place had an atmosphere. Something just hit it and created a massive sonic boom, what looks like this massive crystalloid asteroid that's just making its way into the upper atmosphere of this. You see many of these manta ray squid-like, beak-like things move up, full Lovecraftian, like Cthulhu mythos style, all start to fly in that direction. You see one of these mountaintop bunch of spires floating sort of... It just spins real fast and then just warps away. And this cracks into 3 different pieces, and you see it just ignite the atmosphere as fire just gleams across the stars. And your vision goes white. You all awake. Lahg is not breathing. Lagh's heart is stopped. For those that are next to him, Lagh's not breathing. Lagh's heart is stopped. And he is entirely unresponsive as you wake up.
You're in.
Doing this, I'm in the back.
Yeah.
So
cure wounds.
Yeah.
You stab him with the thing.
I'd say it all depends on who's with who. As to who can do what.
I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
I'm using those dice.
I was with you.
And I
So if he was
cure wounds, and I call out Argus. I might need your help.
Which rooms are you guys in? Are you up
no
front
idea.
or are you in the back?
Oh,
I wasn't
Yes.
there. I wasn't
I'm in the back.
You're in the back.
8.
Okay, so
Okay.
you're up front then with these guys.
Well, no, yeah.
Okay.
We're setting up front.
You're
back,
still, like-
So,
I'm like, I don't know where I am.
You've gone through so much of this.
well, no, that's how we set it up. So
You don't know
we
what's
where
real.
you were either.
Okay.
It was on real.
Gotcha.
What you feel like now is that your body's kind of, your mind is kind of imploded on itself. Self-defense. Where it's almost shut down everything to focus on self-defense. And that's it. So you find yourself yet again in that little pocket space in your mind, protected from basically everything else. Oops. Pizza's upstairs.
Thank you.
You do know that the last time you were stuck here, you were able to somehow summon a window.
No, not again.
You stab him with cure wounds. You heal him. Go ahead and heal him. The question is, would Lahg, who has gone through essentially hundreds of years in torment in the source, or whatever it was, however you want to perceive it, in the course of a couple hours, want to escape? Or want to try to make a door into something else? Is this even real? Do you even know? Have you lost hope? It's entirely up to you.
But this is the first time I'm in this space that I remember from before.
Yes, I mean it's weird too because it kind of all blends together at some point. Every time this happens, it's a different place that feels familiar. You know what I mean? Like it's always something different. You like when you're in this space, it's pure madness. So nothing is ever really truly home, safe, comfortable, familiar.
Is the book still there on the letter?
Completely void.
Just everything's
No void. There's like it's just nothing. Absence of anything. You can feel a floor below you, but there's just black, like Vanta black in all directions.
and no book.
No book.
And I've been there tormented for a long time.
Who knows? Yeah. Time has no meaning here.
Well, yeah, if I feel like this is a moment of clarity.
I would say it's a moment of extremely rare peace because the madness and the sound and the oppression is just not there anymore. And it could be after experience so much of that all the time, the silence is deafening. Almost like makes you miss the whispering.
So I feel like at the very least I would call out just, where'd you go?
Interesting. Okay. While that's happening, your cure woundsing
11 points.
11 points. You when you do that, his body reacts. His heart starts beating.
Argus.
Very slowly.
I'll run over there. What does he look like?
But it's like feels entirely comatose.
This is one good eye look like.
Peek under his eye patch.
Peek under his eye patch. Got the drugs in there. Or like it's not the drugs in this. Well, no, you have one in the hole and one in the little compartment in the eye patch. That's true. Yeah.
Come on, Argus.
Does he look? What do you want me to do?
I don't know. You're the cleric. I healed him.
Yeah, that's about what I can do.
So
I don't know what I'm doing.
You're
His
good.
body is responding, but his mind is absent.
In his other eye, everything looks normal. He just
You open his eye and pupils don't even dilate.
Where am I?
If you want to be there, you can be there.
You heard me call out, so
You heard him yell for me.
as soon as he went like dead unconscious, the dome would have dropped. So we're out in the open, essentially. So if I called out for Argus, you would have heard too.
Okay. Yeah, so I'd come out.
I don't know. I don't know medicine. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know medicine either.
I just have.
Okay. Can you turn the light on? Turn the porch light on?
I did not turn the porch
It's okay.
light
I
on.
think it's on the one all the way to the right.
I have a thing that can heal people, and that's all. That's
I
like
can
as
heal
good
and
as I
revive
have.
from dead, but it looks like he's not dead.
No, he was dead for a minute. I think I didn't. I don't know. He wasn't breathing. I healed him, and he's breathing again. But that's
And so when I'm looking at him laying on the ground,
the extent
can I
of my
sense
knowledge.
anything? Because he's saying
You want
that-
to use your divine sense?
Sure.
Okay, cool. You use your divine sense. You guys have all gotten a long rest by the way. This is when you all wake up. And he's just still in that state. You don't know how long his heart has stopped. You use your divine sense. I need you to do me a favor and roll a wisdom saving throw.
Here, TJ.
21.
Okay, we're going to figure out what happens with that as you feel a madness creep into your mind for a moment when we get back. All right, so we're going to take a break, guys. If you're watching this episodically, head over to the next episode. And thank you so much. And as always, stay safe out there. We'll be right back.